The school beauty just had a huge fight with me. Yet the next day I disappeared. From that day on, it was as if I vanished from her life. Classmates and teachers didn't know where I went. Until she went to my house to look for me and realized my family had already moved away to, finally left with no other choice. She cried and begged her father to use his connections to check my ID card information at the police station. The news she got was, indeed, no such person found. At that time, there was only one thought in Lin Qingxue's mind, which was that the boy she loved was already dead. For 3 years, she firmly believed this thought. 3 years later, I returned after successfully completing a national scientific research mission and learned that Lin Qingxue was a sophomore at Kyoto University. To make up for the regrets of high school, I, who clearly could have been a professor, chose to join Kyoto University instead and became a freshman at Kyoto University. Kyoto University Economics and Management Department Freshman Reception. Lin Qingxue sat peacefully on a chair at the freshman reception desk. She just sat there quietly, yet attracted many passing freshmen. Qingxue, you really live up to being our Kyoto University's publicly recognized #1 beauty. Look at those new junior boys. They can't even keep their eyes open when they see you. I can guarantee, once freshman registration is over, who knows how many junior boys will be in the school asking around for your information. Let them be. Anyway, I have no interest in dating or anything. Compared to dating these people, going with you all to enjoy the evening breeze by Wyoming Lake, going to the snack street to eat late-night food, isn't this much more romantic than love? However, after her voice faded, the light in Lin Qingxue's eyes suddenly dimmed a bit. Going to Wyoming Lake to enjoy the breeze together, going to the snack street outside the North Gate to eat barbecue, and going to the school library to read together, skipping class to watch him play in school basketball games. She used to say all these things to that boy back then. It's a pity that now in this campus, among the many students coming and going, although there are those with eyes like his, noses like his, or even speaking tones like his, unfortunately, those people are ultimately not him. Li Qian got a little nervous seeing Lin Qingxue's dim eyes. Qingxue, don't tell me you are still not over your dead boyfriend of 3 years ago. Regarding Lin Qingxue's situation, her dorm roommates generally knew about it. The ignorant love of high school, whether it's early love or a secret crush, it's youth. Everyone has had similar situations. But even if it's observing mourning for 3 years, these 3 years have already passed. Why not try to make a fresh start? Lin Qingxue understood Li Qian's little thoughts. She smiled freely. Actually, it's not that I can't let go. It's just that I still can't fall for anyone else right now. Lin Qingxue pulled Li Qian's hand. All right, don't just stand here looking silly. At this time, freshmen are probably all entering the school. Aren't you going to the school gate to welcome them? Maybe our department will get a few handsome boys that catch your eye this year. Makes sense. Then she quickly left the reception desk and went to the school gate to welcome the freshmen. Lin Qingxue let out a long breath. Her slightly reddened eyes blinked quickly a few times. She seemed to return to that time of dozing off in math class, passing notes in language class, hand-copying lyrics during self-study breaks. The pastimes when 10 minutes was enough for a good dream. Soon, a summer breeze blew past, messing up the long hair at the girls' temples. Lin Qingxue slightly raised her head. Her expression inexplicably took on a bit of disappointment again. If you were still here at this time, how wonderful it would be. At the gate of Kyoto University, I was carrying my suitcase and looked up at the grand school gate in front of me. Within my long calm state of mind, an inexplicable, significant ripple was stirred up. My departure without saying goodbye back then must have made her very sad. I took a long, deep breath and slowly walked towards the campus. After walking just a few steps, wearing a freshman orientation volunteer armband, Li Qian enthusiastically walked up to me. This junior, which department are you in? I am a volunteer for this freshman registration. Let me take you to register. Economics and Management Department. I happen to not know the way. Well, then I'll have to trouble you, senior. No trouble at all. What a coincidence. Speaking of which, I'm also in Economics and Management. Then you are my direct junior. Li Qian reached out to take my suitcase. Give me the suitcase. I'll take you over to register right now. Without leaving a trace, I quietly pulled the suitcase back a bit. No need. The stuff inside the suitcase is quite heavy. I can handle it myself. Li Qian wasn't awkward either. Smiling freely, that works too. Then just follow closely behind me. So Li Qian led me towards the campus freshman registration reception desk. Just a couple of steps in, I looked up and asked, Senior, since you're a senior in our Economics and Management Department, then I'd like to ask, do you know Senior Lin Qingxue? Li Qian nodded immediately, with a teasing look in her eyes. Of course I do. You're quite well informed for a junior. having just arrived at the school, and you've already found out who the prettiest school beauty in our college is. Are you also interested in our great school beauty, Lin? Senior Lin and I went to the same high school. It's also because of her that I chose to come to Kyoto University's Economics and Management department. Lin Qingxue was a bit surprised, but quickly gave me an I understand look. Coming out of admiration, huh? The young people nowadays are something else. But since you're from the same high school, you must have heard about your senior Lin's deeds. I was a bit stunned. In my impression, Lin Qingxue was always a good student in high school. Besides titles like school beauty and top student, I really didn't know Lin Qingxue had any other affairs. Does always ranking second in the grade count? Because the grade's first place was me at that time. The phone in my pocket suddenly rang. I looked at Lin Qingxue apologetically. Sorry, let me take a call. Then I picked up my phone and answered the call. Professor Liu, This Professor Liu is a professor at Kyoto University. Although not old in age, he has already become one of the domestic authorities in microelectronics and physical electronics. Currently, the dean in charge of scientific research at Kyoto University's School of Electronic Information, Dean Shaquan. In these 3 years at the research base, you relied on your professional knowledge to conquer a group of authoritative professors in the country, and professors in many professional fields have also accumulated a considerable amount of connections for you. The hearty voice of a middle-aged man came through the phone. Chief Engineer Ju, I'm really sorry. Originally, the plan was supposed to be me, welcoming you for admission at the school gate, but a higher-up project temporarily ran into some issues, requiring me to help, so I am not in Kyoto right now. I'm truly sorry. Higher-up projects take priority. Fine. I'm already preparing to go through the admission procedures now, but I still don't understand. With your level of scientific research, you could completely replace doctoral students. Why did you suddenly think of going to college? Chief Engineer Ku, I still stand by my old saying. Whenever you figure it out, I can immediately submit a report to the higher to make you an honorary professor at our Kyoto University. If you want to teach classes, we can also specifically open a major for you to teach. I guarantee you, the benefits we offer will definitely be better than the benefits at neighboring Whacking University. Back when we were at the research base, I was a hot commodity in the eyes of deans from various colleges. But at that time, I was entirely focused on researching a breakthrough in lithography machines. So those deans didn't pursue that idea. Now that the research is over, based on my achievements, it's at least a position as an academician of the Chinese Academy of Sciences. Such a young academician would be a highly sought-after talent everywhere. Since I've come to Kyoto University, naturally, I won't be allowed to leave. Well, talk about this later. Let me have a good rest for a while first. All right, I'm preparing to register here, and you are quite busy too. I won't bother you anymore. Good. You go ahead and register, although temporarily not at the school. But if you have any problems in life, just call me directly. All right, when you return to Beijing, I will definitely come visit you. I hung up the phone. At this time, we had arrived at the freshman registration area. Lin Qingxue looked around and found that Lin Qingxue, who was originally sitting at the reception desk, had suddenly disappeared. She quickly walked up to a few other people and asked, "Where is Qingxue?" I brought her a junior from her hometown. Our great school beauty Lin said the weather is too hot. It's quite exhausting staying here all day. So she treated us to milk tea. She went to pick up the milk tea just now. Lin Qingxue was a bit disappointed. She turned to look at me. I'm sorry, Junior. Your senior had something come up temporarily. You won't be able to see her for now. I chuckled and nodded. It's fine. There is still a long time ahead. There will always be chances to meet. Which class are you in? Economics and Management Department? Freshman class. Then it's all good. Qingxue and I are both assistant counselors for your Economics and Management Class 1. During tomorrow's freshman meet, you'll be able to see her again. You go register first. I nodded slightly and walked up to the small registration table for the School of Economics and Management. After someone verified the information on the admission letter, found my name in the freshman list column, and signed, I received the dorm key and student ID card. A senior walked up to me. Junior, now that you've got your things, let me take you to the dorm first. Drop off your luggage at the dorm first. Then you can go to the dorm management office entrance to collect your bedding and some daily necessities. I nodded slightly and then followed the sophomore senior towards the direction of the Economics and Management boys' dorm. Not long after I left, Lin Qingxue led someone to the Economics and Management freshman registration area. Lin Qingxue immediately rushed in front of Lin Qingxue. Qingxue, your timing for leaving was really unfortunate. Let me tell you. This year, our department got a super handsome, super charismatic boy. And he even said Hayes from the same high school as you. I think this junior of ours absolutely came here for you. Lin Qingxue smiled helplessly. You stop right there. I have no thoughts of dating right now. I didn't say you must date him. In any case, Hayes, your direct junior from your hometown, no matter what, you should take good care of him. Anyway, Hayes in class 1. You'll see him at the freshman meet and greet tomorrow. His name is Xiaoyu. How about it? Do you have any impression of this junior? As soon as Li Qingxue said this, Lin Qingxue's heart rate instantly slowed down half a beat. Even her speaking voice gradually started to tremble. What did you say his name was? His name is Kash. Is there a problem? Lin Qingxue shook her head in some disappointment. With a bit of urgency in her voice, nothing. Which direction did he just go? Li Qingxue pointed in the direction I left. By the time Lin Qingxue looked over, the sophomore seniors in my backs had just turned into an alleyway. But at that moment, Lin Qingxue seemed to see that boy's back. Then, Lin Qingxue quickly shook her head. Impossible. It might just be someone with the same name. During the summer vacation 3 years ago, she argued with me and said she would never talk to me again. But after calming down for 2 days, she sent me a message again. But from that day on, it was as if I vanished from her life. Classmates and teachers didn't know where I went. Not only had my family moved away, but even checking at the police station, my ID information had been wiped clean. At that time, a thought surfaced in Lin Qingxue's mind, which was that I was dead. For 3 years, she firmly believed this thought. So, in her eyes, that back definitely couldn't be mine. At most, it was just someone with the same name and a similar back. Finally, Lin Qingxue trembled slightly and pulled back the steps she was eager to take to chase after. The sophomore senior left after walking me to the dorm building. I followed the dorm number marked on the dorm key, pushed open the door of the dorm where ID lived during my college life, and soon, the remaining 2 people in the dorm also arrived. The 4 of us ranked our seniority by birth, year, and month. Zhu Pengfei is the oldest, Zhang Mingyang is the second. I am the third. Wang Lei is the 4th. It's not easy for all of us from all over to gather together. I'm a local of Kyoto. I'm quite familiar with this area. I'm treating tonight. How about we all have a meal together? Zhu Pengfei quickly waved his hand. No need to treat. We can just go Dutch. But since you know the area well, you picked the place. Wang Lei and I smiled and nodded. At this time, the phone in Wang Lei's hand chimed. He quickly looked down at his phone. Then he raised the phone in his hand and looked towards the rest of us. Bros, did you join the class group chat? The counselor made a class group. A message was sent in the group saying, this year's assistant counselor for our class is Lin Qingxue. You guys know who Lin Qingxue is, right? Zhu Pengfei reacted first. No way. Seriously. Lin Qingxue is our assistant counselor. I raised my eyebrows slightly. From the information I asked someone to find earlier, I knew Lin Qingxue was quite popular at Kyoto University, but I didn't expect her to be this popular. Zhang Mingyang finished reading the messages in the group and let out a sigh. It's a pity as our Kyoto University's #1 beauty. Our senior Lin has always been hung up on her dead ex-boyfriend of 3 years. Otherwise, just based on her being our assistant counselor, I would definitely try to pursue her. My heart stirred and I looked up to ask, ex-boyfriend from 3 years ago? Did Lin Qingxue have a boyfriend 3 years ago? Zhang Mingyang nodded repeatedly, his face full of gossip. According to the rumors I know, Lin Qingxue's ex-boyfriend was her desk mate in her freshman year of high school. But later he passed away in an accident. What a pity. If she had just broken up with her ex-boyfriend, it would be fine. But the person is dead. I guess our grade school beauty Lin will have a hard time forgetting her high school ex-boyfriend for the rest of her life. I was instantly stunned for a moment. Freshman year, desk mate. I remember that during Lin Qingxue's freshman year. Her desk mate was me, wasn't it? When did I become her ex-boyfriend? I admit that back then, I did have some little thoughts in that regard. But I hadn't put them into action yet. Before I was taken away to do scientific research. What exactly happened during these 3 years? I disappeared. No, I must go and ask clearly. So with a whoosh, I stood up from my chair and instantly caught the attention of the other 3 in the dorm. Third bro, getting up so suddenly? What are you planning to do? I just remembered. I suddenly realized I still have some daily necessities to buy. So I plan to go to the nearby supermarket near the school to buy some things. I couldn't exactly say that I was the one they were talking about. Lin Qingxue's so-called ex-boyfriend who had been dead for 3 years. It happened that the things issued by the school weren't quite enough. I also needed to go buy some things. Let's go together. Let's go. Let's go. I happen to need to buy things too. Then let's go together. 3 years have already passed. I didn't care about this one day. The registration time was originally in the afternoon. After the 4 of us went to the supermarket and mall near the school and fully stocked up on all daily necessities for the dorm. When we returned to school, it was almost past 7 o'clock. putting down the things. After the four of us all washed up a bit, Zhang Mingyang looked at us. Bros, the timing is just right. The time is about right now. Let's go for a walk around the school and have a late night snack together while we're at it. No problem. Okay then, allow me to blow dry my hair. Bros, don't blame me for not reminding you, not to mention anything else about our Kyoto University. The pretty young ladies are much better than at neighboring whacking. Dress up a bit more handsomely. Maybe you'll catch the eye of some pretty younger sister. Zhu Pengfei's eyes instantly lit up. Holy crap, why didn't you say so earlier? I need to change into a new outfit. Wang Lei's expression shifted slightly. He shouted towards Zhang Mingyang. Second bro, I don't really know how to style my hair. Later, help me style my hair too. The corners of my mouth twitched. A hint of a smile gradually appeared in my eyes. Perhaps this is the essence of youth. I raised the darkened screen of the phone in my hand. Looked at myself. Still as handsome as ever, not a big problem. At this time, in the girls' dorm, Li Qian smiled and walked next to Lin Qingxue. Qingxue, what are we eating tonight? Let's go to the cafeteria. I think the newly introduced braised pork with yuba at the first floor cafeteria is pretty good. Going to the cafeteria right after arriving at school, we've been busy all day today. Let's go for a walk around the north gate and see what good food there is and buy some fruits on the way back. Lin Qingxue immediately rolled her eyes at her. I think you just want to go out and see. The new junior boys at our school? Lin Qingxue turned to look at the other two roommates in the dorm. What about you guys? Do you want to go out for a walk together? The two roommates nodded in agreement. Lin Qingxue looked up at Li Qian. It seems like after a whole summer vacation. Our dorm hasn't gone out for a walk together in a long time. Then let's go. Dorm 319 quickly finished getting ready. The four of us quickly left the boys' dorm and walked towards the snack street at the school's north gate. At almost the same time, Lin Qingxue and the other three also set out from the girls' dorm and arrived at the snack street at the north gate. Zhang Mingyang, with his hands in his pockets, looked at the few of us. Bros, this north gate is our Kyoto University's famous snack street. A few BBQ shops on this street taste pretty good. You guys pick one. Zhu Pengfei and Wang Lei looked at each other, then looked at me. Third bro, which shop are we going to? I casually glanced around at the few BBQ shops nearby and directly found the closest BBQ shop. Let's just go with this one. Zhang Mingyang quickly stepped forward to lead the way. Bros, let's go. Meanwhile, Li Qian was linking arms with Lin Qingxue. After looking around, she immediately looked at Lin Qingxue and the other two beside her. Sisters, think about it. Which shop should we go eat at? The other two roommates said any was fine. Li Qian then turned her gaze to Lin Qingxue beside her. Lin Qingxue casually looked up. After her gaze quickly swept around, her whole body instantly trembled rapidly. At the entrance of the BBQ shop, I was standing next to Zhu Pengfei and the others, and just walked into the BBQ shop. At that moment, Lin Qingxue only felt her mind go blank, her eyes staring blankly at the shop I entered. Holding her breath, unable to snap out of it for a long time, similar, far too similar, unlike the back from the morning, she seemed to have truly seen a boy who looked almost exactly like Xiaoyu. At that moment, Lin Qingxue felt like she was going to suffocate. At this time, Li Qian shook Lin Qingxue's wrist a few times. Qingxue, what are you zoning out for? Lin Qingxue only then came back to her senses. Looking at Li Qian and the others, let's eat barbecue. BBQ and drinks in summer is a perfect match. Li Qian and the others naturally had no objections. Then Lin Qingxue slowly led Li Qian and the others to the BBQ shop I had just walked into. With every step, her heart beat a bit faster. Are there really people in this world who look exactly the same? Or maybe at that moment, Lin Qingxue's state of mind, which had been dead for 3 years, inexplicably and gradually came alive again. Whether it was holding out hope or wishful thinking, she had to go see this boy who looked exactly like the Xiaoyu in her memory. On the other side, Zhang Mingyang and the others arrived at the shop first and found a private room to sit down. I casually took the menu. After flipping through it a few times, I looked at them. I'm going to the restroom. You guys just order. On the other side, Lin Qingxue, Li Qian, and the others also arrived inside the shop, first finding a corner to sit down. After Lin Qingxue called the boss to bring the menu, she looked at them. You guys just order the food. I think I saw an acquaintance. I'm going to find him. What acquaintance? Could it be a handsome guy? Go, go, go. You order first. Then she stood where she was, her gaze sweeping around the surroundings of the BBQ shop. After finding that there were unfamiliar faces everywhere, her expression suddenly became somewhat disappointed. But then she took a deep breath and pushed open one by one the doors to the various private rooms inside the BBQ shop. After finding that there was still no familiar face, She walked out of the private room in disappointment. Finally, Lin Qingxue pushed open the door to the private room where Zhang Mingyang and the others were. Seeing Lin Qingxue come in, Zhang Mingyang and the other two South eyes instantly widened. "Hello, Senior Lin." Lin Qingxue smiled awkwardly at Zhang Mingyang and the other two, then looked at the 4 sets of bowls and chopsticks on the table, feeling somewhat curious. "Do you have one more person?" "Our third bro went to the restroom." Lin Qingxue nodded, looking at them somewhat apologetically. "I'm sorry, I just thought I saw an acquaintance. I walked into the wrong private room." Then she quickly backed out of the private room, but just as she turned around, she saw the back of a boy, wearing a white short-sleeved shirt. At that moment, Lin Qingxue's heart rate immediately accelerated suddenly. After taking a deep breath, she slowly walked up behind that boy and quickly patted his shoulder. The boy in front quickly turned around. After seeing it was Lin Qingxue. His eyes instantly lit up. "Classmate Lin, did you need something from me?" The expression on Lin Qingxue's face instantly froze awkwardly. "I'm sorry. Classmate, I mistook you for someone else. Sorry. I'm truly sorry." Lin Qingxue apologized repeatedly, finally returning despondently, two in front of Li Qian and the others. "What happened? You went out for a stroll and look like you've lost your soul." "It's nothing. This is our first time coming out for BBQ together this semester. I'll drink first as a toast." After pouring herself a full glass of a drink, Lin Qingxue tilted her head back and gulped down all the drink in the glass. On the other side, I slowly walked out of the restroom, without even looking at the main hall. I directly pushed open the door and walked into the private room. The table in the private room was already fully poured with iced drinks. Seeing me come in, Zhu Pengfei, Wang Lei, and Zhang Mingyang immediately smiled. "Third bro, you took way too long in the restroom. We were all waiting for you. Come on. To celebrate that we can gather together from all over, I didn't act shy either." After sitting down, I immediately picked up the drink glass in front of me. More than half an hour later, after several rounds of drinks and tasting various dishes, Zhang Mingyang held his drink glass and smiled at us brothers. "Senior Lin Qingxue is also eating at this shop. What do you guys say? Should we all go out and offer her a toast? After all, she is our future." Assistant counselor during military training. "Did Lin Qingxue come over just now? You were in the restroom just now." Senior Lin might have walked into the wrong private room, so she came into our private room for a moment. "When I went out to the restroom just now, I saw her and her roommates still drinking outside. Right? I saw it too. I have to say, Senior Lin really lives up to being our Kyoto University's #1 beauty, even when she drinks. She goes really hard." Hearing this, my eyebrows frowned slightly. Drinking. I remember the Lin Qingxue of the past. Would never touch a drop of drinks. Screech, accompanied by the sound of a chair moving. I instantly stood up from my chair. Zhu Penfei and the others immediately looked at me. "Third bro, what are you going to do?" "I'm going out for a bit. You guys keep drinking." Saying that, I pushed open the door of the private room and walked into the main hall. Looking around, I quickly spotted Lin Qingxue, who was constantly drinking. At the drink table, Li Qian and the other two roommates looked at Lin Qingxue worriedly. "Qingxue, stop drinking. Look, you've had too much." Lin Qingxue's eyes were already somewhat blurry. The hand holding the drink glass trembled slightly, her face extremely flushed. "I'm fine. After I finish this last glass, I won't drink anymore." At this time, a face she constantly dreamed of suddenly appeared right in front of her eyes, although it looked a bit blurry. Lin Qingxue was certain that it was me. I snatched the glass of drink she was holding in her hand and downed it in one gulp. "Stop drinking." Li Qian gave me a surprised look. "Junior, it's you." "Hello, Senior. How much has she drank?" Li Qian pointed at the 7 or 8 bottles of drinks on the floor. "These were all drunk by our great school beauty, Lin." Then she had too much. Lin Qingxue instantly looked up. From her slightly reddened eyes, 2 streams of tears instantly flowed down. "I didn't drink too much. Xiaoyu, is that you?" "Xiaoyu, you finally appeared." Then Lin Qingxue hugged tightly onto me, standing beside her. "I guarantee you, I will never argue with you again. Please don't suddenly disappear again." "Okay." My eyes were complex. I reached out and gently patted Lin Qingxue's trembling shoulder and looked at Li Qian. "Senior, where is your dorm? Let me help you guys walk her back to the dorm first." Li Qian was stunned for a moment, then became excited. Good. We happen to be unable to drag her either. Then, well, have to trouble you, Junior." "No trouble at all." Then I reached out and wrapped my arm around Lin Qingxue's waist. With the Princess Carrie, I quickly picked her up from the chair into my arms. Then, with a steady pace, slowly left the BBQ shop. Here in the private room, Ju Penfei and the others peeked their heads out, watching me pick up Lin Qingxue and walk away. The few of them instantly stood rooted to the spot, dumbfounded. It was just so sudden. They were just discussing whether to go offer Lin Qingxue a toast or something. But when it came to me, it was great. I just directly went Hanson and carried her away. What's going on here? The other two roommates from Lin Qingxue's dorm were also completely baffled. During this 1 year since entering college, the boys pursuing Lin Qingxue included second-generation rich kids with luxury cars and startup bosses from outside the school. But without exception, they were all rejected by Lin Qingxue on campus. She even showed no interest in all the boys on campus. Why is it that as soon as this junior came over, she directly threw herself onto him? Li Qian was also somewhat surprised. Based on the current situation, who knows what kind of gossip story there is between these two. But as far as she knew, Lin Qingxue had only ever had a story with one boy, and that was her ex-boyfriend who had been dead for 3 years. Could Xiaoyu be thinking of this? Li Qian couldn't help but shiver. Could this be a resurrection armor? But at this time, she didn't have the mind to think about too many problems either. She quickly ran to the cashier of the BBQ shop. After paying the bill, she brought the other two from the dorm and followed me out. Outside the BBQ shop, many Kyoto University students were coming and going on the road. The moment I carried Lin Qingxue out of the BBQ shop, it instantly attracted the gazes of many students. Sisters, look, a Princess Carrie. Are they filming an idol drama? This boy is so handsome, especially his legs. They are so long. I really want to be the girl in his arms. Countless girls covered their mouths and screamed in surprise. However, there were also many sharp-eyed boys who saw clearly the Lin Qingxue I was holding in my arms and instantly gasped in shock. Holy crap. Isn't the one this boy is carrying in his arms Lin Qingxue, a sophomore? Let go of my goddess and let me do it. Lin Qingxue groggily opened her eyes, staring closely at me who was close at hand right in front of her. Her hands instantly wrapped around my neck, her whole body acting like a squirrel hugging a tree, whispering softly with a breath like orchids by my ear. Xiaoyu, is it really you? Xiaoyu, you've finally come back. Promise me you won't leave again. Okay, I truly promise. I will never argue with you again. I helplessly looked down at Lin Qingxue in my arms. A look of doting instantly appeared in my eyes. I promise I will never leave you again. Okay? Lin Qingxue, hearing my words, instantly started laughing, shouting out like a child acting spoiled. Then you promised. You are never allowed to leave again. Whoever disappears silently again from now on is a puppy? I promise. Whoever disappears again is a puppy. At this, Lin Qingxue finally quieted down, nestling honestly in my arms, and slowly fell asleep. I turned my head to look at Li Qian following beside me. Is she often like this after drinking drinks? Li Qian shook her head repeatedly. No. Although our dorm occasionally goes out for gatherings and has drinks and things, but Qingxue always drinks with a sense of proportion. She's never been drunk before. Speaking of which, this is also our first time seeing Qingxue drunk. I didn't expect someone who is usually so aloof to act like a little child. After getting drunk on drinks, the two girls following beside also nodded repeatedly. I nodded slightly, then looked at the phones, being held up by Li Qian and the other two, feeling a bit puzzled. Are you guys recording a video? Li Qian's expression froze, smiling awkwardly at me. Recording beautiful moments, we are just simply recording how she looks when she's drunk. After she wakes up tomorrow, well, send it to her to watch. It will be easier to help her remember what happened tonight. If you want to film, then film. Remember to make me look good. Got it? However, after taking just a few steps, Li Qian looked at me curiously again. Junior. You couldn't be that person she talked about. The ex-boyfriend who's been dead for 3 years, right? I thought for a few seconds. If nothing unexpected happens, that should be me. The girls were instantly confused. Then why did she say you? I interrupted her and looked at Lin Qingxue in my arms. You want to say that I've been dead for 3 years, right? Actually, I really want to know too, why she would say I've been dead for 3 years. Guided by Li Qian, I carried Lin Qingxue to the entrance of the girls' dorm. Only then did I carefully put her down from my arms. I looked at Li Qian and the others. Senior sisters, while she is in the dorm, I'll leave it to you to take care of her tonight. No problem. Then the few of them helped Lin Qingxue up together and walked step by step into the girls' dorm. I waited until they disappeared from my sight. Before I left the entrance of the girls' dorm, by the time I hurried back to the BBQ shop, Ju Pengfei and the others were still sitting obediently in the private room. Seeing me push the door open and enter, the three of them stood up simultaneously. One was responsible for moving a chair for me. One was responsible for cleaning the table. To clear a clean spot on the table, One was responsible for bringing me hot skewers and a bottle of beverage. After pressing me down onto the chair, the three of them finally sat back in a row at their seats, looking like a joint tribunal, staring at me with faces full of gossip. Third, bro, tell us. What's the situation? It's only the first day of college, and you quietly took down our GN University's most beautiful campus bell. I looked at them helplessly. What do you mean took down? She and I knew each other back in high school. Just now I heard you guys say she was outside, so I went over to say hi. I didn't expect her to have drank too much, so I just conveniently took her back to her dorm. Zhu Pengfei rolled his eyes at me. When you say that, did you touch your conscience? Third, bro, don't treat us all as blind, just normal friends. And you need to use a Princess Carrie to take her back to her dorm. Are her roommates just decorations? Moreover, I saw it clearly. The great campus belle, Lin, actively threw herself into your arms. Wang Lei's eyes lit up. Third, bro, you couldn't be the one the great campus belle Lin mentioned as the ex-boyfriend who's been dead for 3 years, right? 3 years ago, you two broke up, and then you completely broke her heart, turning love into hate. So she went around outside saying you were dead. Inside the Qingda dorm, Zhu Pengfei, Wang Lei, and Zhang Mingyang surrounded Xiaoyu. The atmosphere was lively. Third, bro, I understand now. You are not being fair. Did you abandon her after playing with her feelings? And dumped our great campus belle, Lin? And then she said you died. Damn, if that's the case. For the next half-month of military training, with the great campus belle, Lin, as our assistant counselor, won't she make things hard for us? Wang Lei patted my shoulder. Looking worried, this matter, you have to resolve it. I was somewhat torn between laughing and crying. Don't make wild guesses. I didn't do anything to wrong her. Besides, the two of us were not in a relationship. As far as I know, she never dated anyone in high school. Then I know. So that ex-boyfriend who died 3 years ago was made up by the great campus belle, Lin. Using this fabricated ex-boyfriend as a shield, looking at it this way, do I have a chance? Zhu Pengfei rolled his eyes at Zhang Mingyang. With a look of disdain, go away. Stop dreaming here. I swear on my sharp sixth sense. Between Third Bro and our great campus belle, Lin, there are definitely some unknown stories. With a whoosh, Zhu Pengfei and the other two simultaneously turned their eyes to Zhu Pengfei put his hands together, full of anticipation. Big bro, please spill the tea. I sighed helplessly, looking at the three with calm eyes and a sincere tone. We were never together, and I didn't abandon her. Just a normal classmate relationship. Humph. Then, didn't you have any thoughts at all? I was silent for a moment. I did. Meanwhile, at a large aerospace engine research base in Mobe, the atmosphere in the conference room was heavy. A middle-aged man no more than 70 years old, but with a head full of white hair, wearing a white lab coat, looked at the stacks of top secret design blueprints in front of him, feeling his head was about to explode. This was Professor Liu, who was on the phone with me earlier, Vice Dean of the School of Electronic Information at Qingda. The Jiangwo stood at the front of the conference room, looking solemnly at the group of scientific researchers below. With a serious tone, everyone regarding the failure of this test flight. Do you have any thoughts of your own? Has the problem been identified? The test results are out. There are a few places where problems occurred. First is still the issue with the turbine blades. The precision of the turbine blades still has a slight deviation. And then there's... Everyone listened quietly. Until the report finished, the Jiangwo snorted coldly, angrily slapping the report onto the table. Let's not talk about other aspects for now. How many times has the precision of the turbine blades been tested? And it still fails to meet the standard. Those few material supply corporations. What exactly is their intention? Are they trying to make us change the design blueprints? Other research bases that establish projects at the same time as them, some have already manufactured engines for 5th-generation transport aircraft, and also manufactured various models of drones and missiles. But their aerospace combat engine research took a full 10 years. Yet during the test flight, it resulted in this kind of outcome. Lu Yang looked up at the Jiang and said firmly, Chief Engineer, I know a person who might be able to help us solve the problem. The person he was talking about was me. Regarding the research on lithography machines, the research base encountered quite a few problems back then. But once these problems reached my hands, they were quickly resolved. In some ways, in the minds of the scientific researchers who participated in the lithography machine research base's design, my status was almost deified. Moreover, it wasn't like he hadn't discussed with me before the design of aerospace combat engines. I also have a lot of my own unique insights in this regard. He believed that if I came over, I would definitely be able to solve this problem. The Jiangwo immediately looked towards Lu Yang with a trace of expectation in his eyes. Who did you say could come to solve this problem? Lu Yang said solemnly. Xiaoyu. As his voice fell, everyone in the entire conference room started whispering and discussing. Who is Xiaoyu? An expert in which field? Why have I never heard this name in the country? In the field of aerospace research, is there an expert named Chu? Chief engineer is the vice president of the Chinese Academy of Sciences. And even he isn't confident in solving this problem. If that Xiaoyu comes over, can he help us solve the problem? Whether it's the research projects they participated in or the research projects I'm in charge of, they are all top secret level. Not to mention that my current identity in the country is absolutely an SLVO top secret. So basically, everyone present still didn't know my name. The Jiangwo's expression shifted slightly as he looked at Lu Yang. Is the Xiaoyu you're talking about? The chief designer of the project you participated in, as the vice president of the Chinese Academy of Sciences, he was quite well. Not to mention that back then, in order to nominate me as a senior academician of the Chinese Academy of Sciences, these older generation members of the Chinese Academy of Sciences even held meetings together. Regarding my deeds, he also had a certain understanding. It's him. Then, can you invite him over? As far as I know, isn't that little guy currently slacking off and going to study at Exactly, slacking off. My scientific research talent, these old folks also have a certain understanding of it. In 3 years, taking it from nothing to researching a Aeon nanometer lithography machine, single-handedly putting China's chips on top of the world. With such research talent, he wished he could force this little guy to stay in the research base 24 hours a day doing research. I can't guarantee it, but we must give it a try. Then you go try. I just happen to really want to meet that interesting little guy. We are all old. The future of China's scientific research ultimately has to be handed over to the youth. Early the next morning, in the Jingda dorm, I was packing my clothes in the dorm. While speaking to Lu Yang on the phone, no problem. I'll buy the earliest flight ticket and come over shortly. I should be able to arrive by tonight. Then, Xiaoyu hung up the phone. Zhu Penfei had just gotten out of bed, groggily scratching the back of his head, looking up at Xiaoyu, who was packing his luggage, feeling somewhat confused. Third bro, why are you packing your things so early in the morning? I have some matters at home and need to go back. I just received a call from Lu Yang, inviting me to consult on the aerospace combat engines design and research work. I originally didn't need to participate in this matter, but I also understand that once I dedicate myself to scientific research, I no longer belong to myself. Just like a few months ago, when I finished writing those words at the research base, I am willing to actively devote myself to scientific research, to serve the country with the power of knowledge and technology, and strive for it for my whole life. Some things always need someone to do them. Zhu Pengfei instantly woke up, widening his eyes. Go back. Holy crap. Aren't you planning to participate in the military training? I've already informed the school about it. Zhu Penfei nodded in half understanding, then continued to ask, does informing them mean you don't have to join the military training? How long will you be gone? A week if it's fast, and if it's slow, I guess I'll be back by the time your military training ends. Because Im's just going over to help consult, and don't need to participate in the main planning and research. 2 weeks at most will be enough. Damn, you wouldn't be doing this just to dodge military training, right? Then, since you are leaving so suddenly, did you say goodbye to the great campus bell, Lin? My action of packing clothes instantly paused. On the other side, in the girls' dorm, the early morning sun shone through the window. Onto the floor of the dorm room, Lin Qingxue, with a bit of a headache, rubbed her throbbing forehead, stretched lazily, and asked Li Qian, who was already up, Xiao Qianchen, what time is it now? It's 7 o'clock. Still early. Lin Qingxue quickly climbed down from her bed, rubbing her sleepy eyes. Not sleeping anymore. Did I get drunk last night? Why do I faintly remember that I seemed to have hugged someone? Li Qian started laughing. Oh, I thought you had a blackout. Li Qian pulled out her phone and opened the video she recorded last night. How about it? Do you want me as your big sister? To help jog your memory? You even recorded a video. I really admire you for doing that. Li Qian handed the phone to Lin Qingxue. Take a look for yourself. This person who carried you away, do you still remember him? Lin Qingxue quickly took the phone. Upon seeing the footage on the screen, she instantly froze in place. The phone was playing the scene of me carrying her back to the school, and even recorded the line I said about filming. Remember to make me look handsome. In a split second, all kinds of memories kept flooding into her mind. 1 drop, 2 drops. Continuous streams of tears quickly flowed down from Lin Qingxue's eyes as if she was afraid I would disappear. After Lin Qingxue watched the video once, She stared wide-eyed at Li Qian and asked anxiously, Zhao Qianchen, how do you know Where is he right now? He is our economics and management department's freshman junior. He appeared after you got drunk last night, and then you threw yourself into his arms, and after that, he carried you back. Qingxue, couldn't he be the one you talked about? The boyfriend who's been dead for 3 years? I'm going to find him? Lin Qingxue didn't even have time to answer Li Qian's question. After quickly changing her clothes, she rushed out of the dorm in a hurry. Li Qian yelled to her from behind, Hey, you're in such a rush. Do you know where his dorm is? At the entrance of the boys' dorm, coming and going, there wasn't much of a crowd. I walked slowly on the road at the dorm entrance. Preparing to go to the school cafeteria for breakfast, suddenly, Lin Qingxue's slightly trembling voice appeared in my ears. Xiaoyu. I looked up abruptly. The tears on Lin Qingxue's face were long wiped dry. She stopped in front of me, just looking at me like that. 3 years having passed, my appearance basically didn't have much change, though I seemed to have grown quite a bit taller. The childishness in my eyes had faded away and added a bit more maturity and composure. My temperament hadn't changed though. In the past, Lin Qingxue always felt I was acting too old-fashioned, just like an old scholar, speaking in a very serious manner, which looked very amusing. Now I still had that scholar aura. Even when wearing the most simple and plain clothes, I still seemed so gentle and refined, even though in the video, Lin Qingxue had already seen me once. But now, officially meeting right at that moment, Lin Qingxue felt like her heart was going to stop. A dead silence fell between the two of them. Neither of them spoke first. Now she felt more curiosity, confusion, and resentment. Hating me for why I left without a word back then, even if the two of us were never together. But don't friends need to say goodbye too? I also stood frozen on the spot, staring intently at Lin Qingxue for a long time. During high school, the bits and pieces of our time together once again surfaced in both our minds. When we were called up to the podium together by the teacher to solve problems, the teasing sounds from classmates below, cheering each other on while running the 1,500 meters at the school sports meet, the spicy strips we secretly ate in class, and the evening sunset glow that turned the sky red at dusk, in the youth of the two of them, were engraved with each other's names. It's just a pity that Lin Qingxue never held my dirty hands after playing basketball, and I never smoothed out for Lin Qingxue. Her hair messed up by the wind. I stood in place, hesitating for a long time. Before I looked up and asked, heard I was dead, Lin Qingxue's eyes, with a swoosh, instantly turned red and teary again. It seemed as if 1,000 words were choked in her throat. She gritted her teeth hard. Yes, Ku, aren't you dead? Why did you have to show up again? For 3 whole years. Lin Qingxue really thought I was dead. But now? I actually appeared before her eyes again. My tone choked up for a moment. I really wanted to explain what happened. Over the past 3 years, why I left, and what I was doing, but with my current identity, it is not convenient to disclose at all. Countless words of explanation in my heart were forcibly held back by me. The things I did these 3 years, the specific details, even to the closest people, absolutely cannot be known. Even the contributions I personally made can only wait until after my death to possibly be made public, allowing me to stand completely in the sunlight. I finally just said in a low voice, no matter what, long time no see. Lin Qingxue's expression turned cold. I don't want to see you. I came to see you, just to confirm if you were dead or not. Now that I know you're still alive, then I'll leave first. After Lin Qingxue finished speaking, she turned around to leave. I called out to stop her. Lin Qingxue. Lin Qingxue paused, her tone cold. What? I just want to tell you. The promise from back then, I didn't break it. Lin Qingxue sneered, suppressing her anger while looking at me. The promise from back then? Xiaoyu, what is the relationship between us? Who do you think you are? You leave when you want to leave and appear when you want to appear. For 3 years, I sent you so many messages. You never replied to a single one. Without any reason, as if you evaporated from the world. You just disappeared. Do you think this is particularly cool? Particularly proud? Do you think that by doing this you can make me remember you for the rest of my life? Didn't you disappear? Since you have already disappeared, then why are you showing up again? The last sentence, Lin Qingxue almost roared out. It seemed like she wanted to take all the sadness and grievances of these 3 years, and all her dissatisfaction, and vent it all out. In the very beginning, Lin Qingxue really still held out hope, wondering if I was playing a prank on her, suddenly disappearing for a summer vacation. At that time, she still thought that after finding me, she would definitely scold me severely, but later she gave up. With no news from me for 3 years, she gradually felt like she was about to forget those stories of us together from 3 years ago. But now, I just had to suddenly appear again. I was left speechless by her words. What could I say? My body is already promised to the country. It is hard to promise to you. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have left without saying goodbye back then. I left too hurriedly that year. I also didn't know how to face you. To tell you about the fact that I was leaving, the scientific research project I was going to participate in, that was a national secret. Even my parents only knew that I was specially recruited by the state to study in a special place. Dedicating myself to the country, I have no regrets. But towards Lin Qingxue, I feel guilty in my heart. Lin Qingxue interrupted me. No need. You don't need to apologize to me. We don't have any relationship anyway. You leave if you want. You stay if you want. Whatever you want to do has nothing to do with me. I looked at Lin Qingxue guiltily. I have to go. There is an emergency at home. I need to go back for a while, but at the latest, I will come back after military training ends. Hearing this, Lin Qingxue's face tightened. She subconsciously asked, "What happened?" Then Lin Qingxue turned her face cold again. "Just go if you want to. I am not yours anyway. You don't need to explain to me. Although I have already informed the school. You are, after all, our class's assistant counselor. A freshman missing military training, saying hello to the counselor, isn't that what should be done? Besides, in my eyes, you are far more than just my counselor." Lin Qingxue snorted softly, then pretended to be calm again. "I don't understand what you are saying. Do you have anything else? If not, I'll leave first. Nothing else. This time shouldn't count as leaving quietly without saying goodbye, right? I don't want to be a puppy." Lin Qingxue instantly recalled last night. Those words she said after getting drunk. Blushing, she glared at me. "Can't be bothered with you. If you have things at home and need to leave, then hurry up. So annoying." After saying that, Lin Qingxue quickly turned and left. I stood in place, watching Lin Qingxue's running figure, but a smile gradually appeared on the corner of my mouth. Returning to the dorm, Lin Qingxue thought for a long time. Suddenly, she angrily complained about herself, secretly scolding in her heart, "Lin Qingxue, can you not be so useless? Don't be soft-hearted as soon as you see him. Okay, he left quietly for 3 years. Did he ever understand your feelings? And you still care about what happened to his family?" Then Lin Qingxue took a few deep breaths. After calming her emotions, she quickly made up her mind in her heart. The matter of these 3 years, she absolutely cannot just let it go. However, I didn't know any of this, because at this time I had already stepped into the elevator heading to the departure lounge. At this moment, someone yelled at the people inside the elevator, "People inside, come out. Hurry up and come out first." I looked up outside the elevator. In that dense crowd, it turned out to be a male celebrity. With many fans taking pictures there, I couldn't help but sneer. "Since you have so many people, can't you wait for the next trip? Did your family build this airport?" The male celebrity's assistant's expression instantly turned ugly. "What do you mean? How full our Lele's schedule is. Don't you know? Our plane is arriving soon. Hurry up and step out." I remained expressionless. "What does your plane arriving have to do with us?" asked the people standing in this elevator. "Which one doesn't have their own business? Do celebrities have special privileges?" Hearing this, surrounding this male celebrity, some crazy female fans couldn't take it anymore and shouted loudly, "Can they be as busy as our Lele is a top domestic celebrity. He is so busy with daily announcements that he can't manage. Can't you let our Lele go up first? What's wrong with you?" Giving the elevator to Lele is simply your honor. Why don't you get out of the way? What are you standing there for? If this delays our Lele from boarding the plane, can you people bear this responsibility? At this time, the male celebrity's face was also a bit ugly. Being wildly popular domestically for 2.5 years had long made him accustomed to being pampered, not to mention giving up an elevator. Even if he was 2.5 hours late when filming, the entire crew had to wait for him. The male celebrity snorted coldly in his heart, but as a professional habit of a celebrity, he was still very cautious in some aspects. If he did anything extreme, it would easily arouse public disgust. The next second, a smile appeared on his face. After scolding back the assistant and bodyguards, he looked at me in the elevator and smiled. "It's fine. Although I am in a hurry, I'll still let you guys go up first. After all, everyone is very busy." The corner of my mouth twitched speechlessly. Just the time wasted on this is enough for the elevator to go up and come down once. But the brainless fans excitedly said, "Their Lele's is really well educated," and even pointed fingers at me. I shook my head helplessly, ignored that male celebrity, and directly pressed the button to close the elevator. However, I didn't know that just because I didn't give him the elevator, this male celebrity wanted to incite fan opinion to attack me. Not long after I left, the male celebrity looked at the fans and laughed, a trace of coldness flashing in his eyes. All right, everyone stop making a fuss first. This is just a little episode. Absolutely do not take this to the internet. We should get going too. Everyone, disperse. The assistant quickly understood and smiled at the crowd. Everyone, please disperse first. Remember to absolutely not let this matter spread on the internet. Absolutely do not. Of course, although saying this, in his heart he had already begun calculating. If this matter blows up on the internet, how to use this incident to market himself further. Those fans originally hadn't thought about this. Being brought up by them like this, in the various fan groups of this male celebrity, it instantly exploded. Lele is their sky. Bullying their idol? This is simply worse than killing their own mother and father. 10 minutes later, those crazy fans of Lele started speaking out on the internet. All kinds of maliciously edited videos, slogans crusading against me, and posts using big data to search for me, all popped up at once. Even a post named "Come out and apologize to Lele, our idol needs to be respected," was directly pushed by those crazy fans to the hot search list. Because of this, some information about me was also posted on the internet by some people. Although most crucial, information underwent level encryption, unless one's authority is extremely high. Basically, no one could find it. But even so, it still got my photo exposed on the internet, especially in the personal experience column. It also wrote that for the middle 3 years, they could not find any information regarding Xiaoyu's experience. After this matter was exposed, countless crazy fans of Lele immediately started picking up their keyboards and flaming on the internet. Is it so easy to get into Tsinghua University these days? Can just anyone go study at Tsinghua University? I couldn't find this person's college entrance exam info at all, nor could I find if he participated in top international competitions. How did this kind of person get into Tsinghua University? I suggest the relevant departments strictly investigate. Of course, there were some sensible fans, but under the rhythm led by various crazy fans, public opinion online sided with Lele from the start, making me instantly become a rat crossing the street that everyone wants to beat. Meanwhile, inside the Tsinghua University girls' dorm, Lin Qingxue, who was comfortably scrolling through videos, saw this rapidly rising hot search and immediately called Lin Qingxue over. Qingxue, look, is this your junior? So many people are scolding him online right now. Lin Qingxue froze for a moment. She quickly took Lin Qingxue's phone and flipped through it, and immediately felt somewhat speechless. Are fans all idiots? Then she took out her own phone, clicked directly into the hot search, and started scolding back. Are celebrities superior to others? So what if he didn't give up the elevator? Are they rushing to reincarnate, or rushing to their deaths? Looking at Lin Qingxue's indignant appearance, Lin Qingxue immediately couldn't help but laugh. Qingxue, who said she would have nothing to do with Xiaoyu anymore. Looking at you like this, I'm afraid you still have lingering feelings. It's about the matter, not the person. If anyone else was treated like this, I would act the same way. But soon she discovered her comments were immediately drowned out by those malicious comments. Qingxue, things are looking bad. Those crazy fans of Lele, at first glance, clearly won't let your junior off. He is in big trouble this time. But right at this moment, inside a certain special office, a warning red light instantly lit up. The staff reported nervously. Report immediately. A large number of users are disclosing our country's level confidential members' identity data on the internet. There is a risk of a leak. We have prepared to intercept. Please give specific instructions from above. The director of the General Administration of Security, Lin Qingxue, after seeing it, immediately flew into a rage. What are you people doing? Immediately get someone to take down all online information about Xiaoyu, and immediately arrange someone to investigate this matter. See if there is any foreign intelligence organization personnel adding fuel to the flames. I only give you 10 minutes. Once he suffers any damage because of this, all of you will face the music. China can do without me as the director of security, but China's scientific research field absolutely cannot do without him. As a genius domestic scientific researcher, my personal file has long been linked to the General Administration of Security. No matter who or what institution tries to look up my data, it will immediately trigger a danger alarm. It's just that he absolutely didn't expect. This time it wasn't a single person querying my identity, but countless ignorant netizens spreading my information on the internet. After Lin Qingxue watched the surveillance video regarding the airport elevator, he gritted his teeth and cursed under his breath. Some celebrities nowadays are really becoming more and more outrageous. Acting like big shots is one thing, but they don't even have eyes. Who are they trying to pull this attitude on? Making someone who is about to become the nation's most young academician give up the elevator for you. Are you worthy? However, just as his voice fell, his phone immediately rang. As soon as he saw the caller ID, His heart suddenly skipped a beat. The protective one is here. The person calling was Wang Weiman, Dean of the Chinese Academy of Sciences. Don't just see them as old men, but when it comes to being protective, every single one of them is a master at it. Lin Qingxue took a deep breath, only then nervously answering the call. Wang Weiman immediately scolded him right to his face. Lin Qingxue, what exactly are you doing as the director of the General Administration of Security? Such a big incident has occurred on the internet right now. Does your security bureau have no countermeasures? I'm telling you, if Xiaoyu's identity gets exposed, I, an old man, will throw away my dignity and come cause a scene at your office. Elder Wang, calm down. I'm already arranging people to resolve it. 10 minutes. Within 10 minutes, all news on the internet will be taken down. What about that celebrity? I will immediately arrange a meeting with the cultural development department's relevant person in charge. Rest assured, I will definitely give you and all the scientific researchers at the academy an explanation. Good, I await your news. Wang Weiman quickly hung up the phone. Lin Qingxue took a deep breath, sitting in his office, gritting his teeth. Immediately after, he picked up the phone on his desk to notify the head of the cultural development department. Tell him to come to my office within half an hour. Otherwise, I will personally go to his cultural development bureau. At the same time, in the airport departure lounge, I received Wang Weiman's phone call. Xiaoyu, don't worry about this matter. Leave it to me, an old man, to handle. Just wait for your flight with peace of mind. Don't let these external matters disturb your thoughts. Within one day, I will definitely give you a satisfactory explanation. Originally, I didn't take it seriously, but the next second, several gorgeously dressed girls walked up to me. With contemptuous eyes, you look quite handsome. Didn't you say you were in a hurry for something? Why are you still waiting here in the departure lounge? Sitting here is just sitting. You just saw that our Liles is famous and wanted to leech off our Liles popularity, right? Don't you want to be popular? Then, well, help you become really popular. As her voice faded, one of the girls directly poured a bottle of water on me. Before I could react, I was instantly soaked to the bone. The security guards in the departure lounge also saw this scene and quickly rushed over to me, shouting, "Hey, what are you girls doing?" The girls exchanged a glance and immediately ran away quickly. I had just finished wiping the water off my body with a tissue when the screen of the phone lying beside me suddenly lit up. Lin Qingxue, who was worried in the dorm, silently sent a text message, "Are you okay?" My originally terrible mood instantly became happy, but just as I was about to reply to the tsundere, Lin Qingxue, the dorm leader, called. After picking up, I was immediately furious. It turned out that Lin Qingxue and the other girls in her dorm were speaking up for me on the internet. But someone inexplicably revealed that they were desk mates in high school. Someone even posted her photo online. Now they were being scolded in various ways by Liles fans. From the very beginning, I have always viewed those crazy fans with an attitude of tolerance and indifference, but at this moment I couldn't bear it anymore. I took a deep breath and looked down at the message Lin Qingxue sent. Instantly, my heart ached a little. She was being scolded like this on the internet, yet she was still concerned about me. What a fool. So after thinking for a few seconds, I made a phone call. The call was quickly answered. Lin Qingxue spoke first and asked, with a tone of worry, "Xiaoyu, how are you doing at the airport now? Are you okay? I heard that Liles fans are very crazy. They didn't do anything to you, did they?" I'm fine. Just ignore this matter for now. Leave it to me to handle. Okay, just stay in the dorm for now. And don't go online either. Find a happy movie to watch. By the time the movie is over, I will have resolved the issue. But Lin Qingxue's tone was somewhat agitated. Towards the end, her voice even carried a hint of a sob. How are you going to resolve it? Right now, so many people on the internet are overwhelmingly scolding you. How can you resolve it alone? She regretted it. If she hadn't acted out of pique this morning and had gone to see me off instead, would this kind of thing not have happened? In order to change the subject, I smiled and said, "Sister Lin Zhu, you are so nervous about me. Does this mean you have already forgiven me?" I did not. Xiaoyu, let me tell you, one thing is one thing. I helped you on the internet, only because what they did was too excessive. That's all. You absolutely must not overthink it. Just give up on that idea. I will absolutely never forgive you. After saying that, she silently added a sentence in her heart. At the very least, I can't forgive him, so icily, just so useless. Clearly hadn't been in contact for 3 years, but as soon as I appeared, her heart immediately surrendered. No matter how many harsh words were said, or how angry she was inside, as long as she saw Xiaoyu once, all the unhappiness in her heart would immediately vanish into thin air. From the very first moment I saw Lin Qingxue, I knew she was still the same, her, just assumed. The only thing worth celebrating is I didn't miss out on her after all. I looked up and chuckled softly. With a serious tone, the time ahead is still very long. Once I'm done with family matters, I will properly beg you to forgive me. Too lazy to talk to you, I'm hanging up. Lin Qingxue directly hung up the phone. Took a few quick, deep breaths, raised her hand and quickly fanned her slightly reddened cheeks a few times. Li Qian beside her asked with a wicked smile, "Why aren't you crying anymore?" When Lin Qingxue's information was exposed by those fans, who knows how many malicious private messages were sent to her phone. No matter how aloof she appears on the outside, deep down inside, she is just a 19-year-old little girl. Lin Qingxue quickly shook her head, picked up her phone again, turning into a warrior of justice, and started initiating again. After I hung up Lin Qingxue's call, I took out a secure phone from my suitcase and dialed a phone number. "This is Secure IDS 17171. I request to speak with Director Lin Qingxue of the General Administration of Security." After the call connected, Lin Qingxue quickly said, "Academician 2, I am truly sorry. Rest assured, your identity will absolutely not be exposed. All personnel involved. Our General Administration of Security has terminated. So you were going to see your girlfriend? Now that's like a young person." But immediately after, he frowned again. Looking at the still soaring topic on the hot search, what's going on? Didn't we already start clearing some comments? Why is the popularity still so high? Layli has too many fans. We can't delete the comments fast enough. Deleted one batch. Another batch immediately appeared. What did the person in charge over there say? If they still don't suppress this popularity, do they want me to invite their boss to the General Administration of Security for tea? The person in charge didn't answer the phone, but I contacted a friend who works there. He said regarding this matter with Layli, quite a bit of capital has already stepped in, wanting to use this opportunity to boost Layli further. His commercial value right now is still quite high. I don't care what capital is behind that. Layli directly arrange for the technical department personnel to shut down all servers over there for me. All people who posted inappropriate remarks on the internet will have their accounts banned. Invite all those capitalists to the General Administration of Security for me. I want to see if their capital footprint is larger, or my size 49 foot is larger. Also, notify the other agencies. Within 2 minutes, all news about Xiaoyu on the internet must completely disappear. At the same time, inside the VIP departure lounge, Layli lay leisurely on the luxurious massage chair. Looking at the hotly debated topic, his eyes were full of contempt and smugness. "Just an ordinary person like you. Still want to fight with me? I can make you regret it with a lift of a finger." The assistant beside him laughed and began to flatter him. "Brother La, your fans are really powerful. It's been less than half an hour, and this topic is almost soaring to #1 on the hot search. Your exposure has increased a lot again." Just as they were rejoicing, they didn't know they would soon be keeping the sewing machine company. At this time, inside the General Administration of Security, Lin Qingxue directly threw the documents on the desk. In front of the head of the cultural department, in just 10 minutes, the hot search was directly taken down. No more information about Xiaoyu could be found online. After Lele saw this scene, he immediately exclaimed, "What's going on?" The assistant hurriedly contacted an executive working at the platform over there. After the call connected, the executive instantly started scolding furiously. "Let me tell you, a huge incident has occurred now. For the sake of our past relationship, I'll give you a piece of advice. Either you run away, or when the time comes, confess and seek leniency. Resisting will be dealt with severely. Because of Lele's incident, this time, do you know how miserably you've doomed us?" At this time, the head of the Cultural Development Department directly called Lele's talent agency. The head roared into the phone. "I'm calling you to notify you. All artists under your talent agency, all currently pending film and television projects are entirely halted. Don't bring them to me to see anymore. If I pass them for you, I will take your surname from now on. Also, the celebrities in your company who spoke up for Layli on the internet are completely blacklisted. Especially Of course, you don't need to worry about him anymore. He is completely finished. Also, before 9 p.m. tonight, bring your company's senior executives and make a trip to the General Administration of Cultural Development. I'm inviting you all collectively for tea." The talent agency boss was instantly dumbfounded. Right at that moment, the secretary hurriedly ran in. With a panicked expression, Mr. Sun, things are really bad. People from the tax bureau have come over and want to take away all of our companies, information related to finance and taxation." Meanwhile, over at the airport, Layli and his assistant received, one after another, various cancellation notices. Cancelled endorsements. canceled contracts notices. Before they could figure out what was going on, 4 plainclothes officers stepped forward, showed their IDs with solemn expressions. Big star. Good luck in the days ahead. Lele was instantly enraged, but with just a slight movement, he was pinned down by the 2 people escorting him. At the same time, in the girls' dorm of Kyoto University, Lin Qingxue shouted excitedly, "Qingxue, did you see that? The officials took action. Your Xiaoyu was really lucky this time." Lin Qingxue nodded repeatedly and then explained sullenly, "I saw it. I solemnly declare once again, I really have nothing to do with Xiaoyu anymore." But the next second, the phone held in her hand rang. Her face instantly tightened, and she immediately made a shushing gesture. Lin Qingxue's expression was tense. "Don't be noisy. Xiaoyu is calling?" Lin Qingxue instantly smirked mischievously. "And you say you have nothing to do with Xiaoyu? As soon as he calls, you get this nervous, go away. Taking a deep breath, she then answered my call. Lin Qingxue feigned a nonchalant tone. "What's up, Xiaoyu? Is there something wrong? I'm about to board the plane, so I'm calling to let you know." Lin Qingxue nodded thoughtfully, then immediately curled her lips. "We have nothing to do with each other. So what if you board the plane? What does it have to do with me? You don't need to call me." After saying that, she couldn't help but ask, "Did you see what happened online? Lele got arrested. All the news about you online disappeared. You are really lucky this time. You actually encountered the country reforming the entertainment industry's atmosphere." "Yeah, I still have to thank the country." I didn't explain too much. It's naturally for the best that she thinks this way. I don't need to waste any more breath. At this moment, the boarding announcement for the flight to Mobe came through the airport. "I have to board the plane. He'll find you when I get back." "Oh, right. I also want to know what you meant by the ex-boyfriend who died 3 years ago." My ex-girlfriend Lin Qingxue's cheeks instantly flushed red. "What ex-boyfriend?" "I don't know. Go board your flight." I'm hanging up. After hanging up the phone, Lin Qingxue immediately became nervous. Why did he bring this up? I really thought he was dead back then. Who knew he was still alive now? How do I explain this? I can't possibly tell him I liked you a lot. So I gave the dead you the status of an ex-boyfriend? But then she was somewhat puzzled again, muttering to herself, "Passengers traveling from Kyoto to Mobe? When did Xiaoyu move his home to Mobe?" Before she had time to think deeply, Lin Qingxue came over with a mischievous smile. "Little Qingxue, do you know how you looked when you were on the phone just now? You looked exactly like a little girl in love." And Lele at this time was sitting in the detention vehicle with blank eyes. At this moment, he still held a glimmer of hope. He felt he could still salvage the situation. Looking at the law enforcement officer beside him, his tone was ingratiating. "Big brother, can you give my phone to me so I can make a couple of phone calls?" "I definitely can't let you make phone calls. That's the rule. But I can still let you take a look at the news outside right now." After saying that, he took out his own phone. Who knew that the next second after Lele saw it, the law enforcement officer immediately cursed. "Old Wang, stop the car. Let me sit in the front. This kid wet himself." Meanwhile, Lin Qingxue, sitting in the girls' dorm, started thinking about me again. She looked at their call history, gritting her teeth secretly. Xiaoyu hasn't sent any news since he went back. Has he arrived home or not? At this time, Lin Qingxue walked up to her with a mischievous smile. "Qingxue, if you really still have feelings for him, then just send him a message." "No way. I'm so pretty. It's not like nobody wants me besides Xiaoyu. Why should I be the one to text him first?" Meanwhile, in order to research the space shuttle engine as soon as possible, I started researching the data day and night. At 11 p.m., I went to the Jiangwo's dorm and handed him the USB drive in my hand. "Dean, these are some of my concepts and research blueprints regarding the aerospace engine." The Jiangwo only looked for a while, and his expression gradually became solemn, because the data I provided was too detailed. At this moment, my phone suddenly rang. Sorry, academician, It's fine. It's so late. It must be a message from your little girlfriend at Young people in love, you know? I've been there too. Don't worry about me." I picked up the phone and took a look. Sure enough, it was a message from Lin Qingxue. "Are you home yet?" "I'm already home. I'm chatting with someone right now. What's up?" Seeing this message, Lin instantly got angry. She finally let go of her last bit of stubbornness and took the initiative to ask what he was doing, and this guy actually said he was chatting with someone else. Has time to chat with others, but doesn't have time to send me a message saying he arrived home, so we're no longer good friends after disappearing for 3 years. Back when we were still desk mates, even if he just went to take a shower, he would send a message to tell me. Indeed, men all change. I guess I was just flattering myself. After a soft snort, several messages from Lin Qingxue came through. My timing is bad. Then I won't bother you. Chat with him today. I'll chat with you tomorrow. This way, staggering the chats won't seem too cold. Don't you think? Good night. I'm going to sleep. Seeing this long message that Lin Qingxue suddenly sent over, I instantly felt a bit baffled. What's going on here? And what does the tone of this message mean? The Xiaoyu who was next to me saw this and quickly asked, "Did you argue with your girlfriend?" Back when I was chasing my wife, I coaxed her so well that she was over the moon. If it's an emotional issue, you can consult this old man here. And so, just like that, one actually dared to teach, and one actually dared to learn. Xiaoyu sent Lin Qingxue a message like this. Okay, then you go to sleep first. It's summer. Turn on the AC in the dorm. Cover yourself well with a quilt at night. Don't catch a cold good night. Suffocate you, little thing. On the other side, after Lin Qingxue saw it, her expression instantly froze. Gritting her teeth, she quickly typed on her phone. Xiaoyu, I haven't hit you for 3 years. Is your skin itching for a beating? I was stunned. After hesitating for a few seconds, I immediately sent a message asking, isn't that what they all say on the internet? Lin Qingxue was furious. Xiaoyu, are you a caveman? Li Qian next to her immediately looked over at Lin Qingxue with a gossipy look. Could it be your Xiaoyu making you angry? Lin Qingxue gripped the phone in her hand tightly. I've decided I won't talk to him for at least 3 days. I'd say 1 day at most. The Jiangwo looked at me, whose face had gone blank, and asked, how is it? Did she happily go to sleep? She went to sleep. The next morning, Lin Qingxue, as the assistant counselor, sat on the playground and occasionally checked her phone. Li Qian, sitting beside her, quickly asked, hey Lin Qingxue, are there flowers inside your phone? You look at it every few minutes. What's the situation? Lin Qingxue instantly pouted, her tone extremely aggrieved. Isn't it Xiaoyu? This morning, I sent a good morning message. And now it's almost noon. And he hasn't replied to a single message. Although I said I wouldn't talk to him for 3 days, I didn't actually tell him that. I even deliberately made a WeChat Moments post with a photo of military training, just waiting for him to message me. Even asking about how military training is going would be fine. Maybe I would get soft-hearted and reply to him. Who knew I gave him the chance? And Hayes, totally useless. Didn't you just say yesterday you wouldn't talk to him for 3 days? Then he can't even send me a message. Seeing this, Li Qian couldn't help but reach out and pinch Lin Qingxue's cheek. I'm begging you, little Qingxue, do you have to be so cute? If he doesn't message you, then just ignore him. There are millions of men in the world. If not him, well, change him. It's not like you lack Xiaoyu. Well, see? Lin Qingxue again raised her hand, opened her phone, and took a look. Still no message. In the afternoon at the research base, top experts and professors from dozens of fields gathered together, among everyone, except for Wu Li. Most of the others, after receiving their orders, were directly and urgently transferred to the Mobe research base. They had no idea what had happened. Just as everyone was discussing among themselves, the Jiangwo finally brought Xiaoyu and Wu Li slowly into the conference room. The experts whispered, seeing my appearance. Some people in the conference room were stunned. They didn't know my achievements, but the scientific researchers working in the research base, the youngest were at least around 30 years old, and the older ones among them were almost 70 or 80 years old. Everyone held a brief meeting. The meeting lasted for nearly 6 hours. It wasn't until after 2 a.m. that I finally finished this meeting, during which I heavily focused on explaining some theories of realizing the warp drive device. Halfway through, I also answered various questions raised by many experts and scholars. The meeting ended. Thunderous applause erupted, accompanied by the passionate shouts of scientific researchers echoing throughout the conference room. After saying goodbye to all the experts, I walked to the secure box at the door and retrieved my phone. While turning it on, I returned to the dorm in the reception center. After turning it on, I saw the message sent by Lin Qingxue. It was sent around 11 p.m. last night. Just a short goodnight message. After pondering for a few seconds, I smiled lightly and replied, "Good night, sweet dreams." But the next second, Lin Qingxue's side instantly replied with a message. Oh my. Our busy man is finally willing to reply. You woke up. Lin Qingxue gritted her teeth, as if shed sleep, all day today, besides a good morning. She really didn't send him a single extra message, making his heart itch like crazy. Sending a goodnight message was also to make him send a message back. As a result, she waited and waited all the way until now. Lin Qingxue took a deep breath and quickly calmed her emotions before slowly replying, couldn't sleep, so I chatted with my roommates for a while. Is there a problem? No problem. Then when do you plan to sleep? I didn't know your family matters were so busy. So busy that you couldn't even spare time to send me a message all day. In the morning, I was perfecting document contents. In the afternoon, I was receiving various experts and professors. In the evening, I had to hold a meeting for them. It was indeed quite busy. That's nice, Lin Qingxue thought to herself. Since you're so busy, then you might as well not send me messages. Just go be busy with your things. But in the end, she still didn't send out her inner thoughts. Instead, she asked curiously, last time I was so mad at you, I got confused and haven't had the time to ask yet. Xiaoyu, you disappearing silently for 3 years? Don't you owe me an explanation? But after thinking about it carefully, she found that asking like this seemed a bit too eager. So she continued to reply, of course, if you think there's no need to explain to me, that's fine too. Anyway, we don't have any relationship. Stinky Xiaoyu disappeared without a word for 3 years. The fact that this beautiful girl can still chat with you nicely now, you should consider yourself lucky. You better properly explain to me the reason why you left without saying goodbye 3 years ago. Qingxue, can we not talk about this? Lin Qingxue was so angry she wanted to smash her bed, but she still calmed her mood and quickly replied, oh, fine. Then, let it be. I'm going to sleep now. Are you angry? Lin Qingxue curled her lips. This blockhead isn't completely hopeless after all. No, I wouldn't dare be angry at our busy man Ka. If you got angry again, what if you disappear without saying goodbye like 3 years ago again? I want 3 years ago there really was a reason, but I promise I will never leave without saying goodbye again. And not anyone to you. You don't need to specifically tell me this. Aren't we good friends? Just good friends. Can it be something else? After a while, Lin Qingxue helplessly rubbed her forehead. Hopeless. Hopeless. This person is really hopeless. She had already made her words so clear. Doesn't he understand what it means? Whatever. I want to sleep. You should rest early too. Okay, then you sleep. Good night. For the next few days, the two of them were just like this, chatting casually on and off. But every time I saw Lin Qingxue send a message over, it was also a rare moment of relaxation for me. In this busy scientific research work, 10 days later, Kyoto University's military training was also coming to an end. The Mobe research base was also enveloped in a round of enthusiastic applause. During these 10 days, we immersed ourselves in the research base day and night, just for the establishment of this model before us. As long as this model can operate successfully, it also means that my theory is effective. Then today is an epic-making day. In my lifetime, to actually let me see, the possibility of realizing the warp drive is truly too incredible. If the model can run completely, this is absolutely a huge step forward in the field of power worldwide. This day will surely be recorded in the annals of history. But Chief Engineer Xiaoyu has really worked hard. It's my first time seeing someone risk their life so much for scientific research. As soon as this was said, everyone present turned their gazes towards me. If it could be said that 10 days ago, I relied on my theoretical knowledge to convince everyone present, then what about now? It's relying on my intense charm as a scientific researcher. I smiled at everyone. Everyone, don't rush to praise me just yet. Get ready for the first ignition experiment. Xiaoyu, do you want to rest for a day? Let's conduct the ignition experiment tomorrow. No need. I can still hold on. Let's proceed directly with the ignition experiment. The Jiangguo also knew he couldn't dissuade me. After a soft sigh, he silently stood to the side. Soon, a scientific researcher brought over a red ignition button. Chief Engineer Ku, please do the ignition. I took a deep breath and was just about to press the button when I suddenly turned and glanced at the Jiangguo beside me. Dean, how about you do it? I'm a bit nervous. Go on. Are you still debating seniority with me here? You are the chief designer. So you do it? Then I'll press it. Press it. I nodded. And then with a solemn gaze, pressed the button in my hand. Everyone held their breath with rapt attention. Immediately after the warp drive, model instantly began to operate. Powerful electrical energy poured into it. Inside the entire research base, flashes of red light began to illuminate. Continuous notification sounds began to transmit to everyone's ears. Ignition successful. Starting the warp engine cabin. As the final countdown ended, a sphere weighing 100 caddies was directly dropped from mid-air into the warp field. The iron ball, which should have fallen vertically to the ground the moment it entered the warp field, flew directly towards the front. Finally, it smashed heavily onto a huge iron door 100 meters away. Seeing this scene, the hearts everyone was holding finally slowly landed. Inside the entire base, a sound of wild celebration erupted. We succeeded. We succeeded. The warp drive is feasible. The warp drive is feasible. Countless people hugged each other, weeping with joy. The Jiangguo's eyes turned red. He had dealt with engines his whole life, from watching China's fighter jet engine technology grow from nothing. He had experienced almost all the hardships involved. He hoped more than anyone that China could stand at the pinnacle of the world in the aerospace field. And today, he saw it. After the excitement, I slowly bowed slightly towards everyone. Xiaoyu is right here. Thank you all for your understanding. I'll leave the rest of the journey to your hard work. But after slightly lowering my head, I felt my head getting heavier and heavier, instantly thinking to myself, oh no. Recently, I've overexerted my body too severely. My stamina can't hold up. My body subconsciously began to sway slightly. The Jiangguo was the first to notice my physical condition and hurried forward. Xiaoyu, what's wrong? Because since this morning, the Jiangguo felt that my mental state was not right. But because the warp drive device model was about to finish assembly, I was holding onto a breath of energy. Now that the model testing was over, that breath of energy I was holding also dissipated. I smiled bitterly. My physical fitness really isn't good enough. Only staying up for 10 days, and my mental state is already like this. Roughly understanding my current condition, which is physical exhaustion. I just don't know how many days I'll be unconscious for. I hope I'm not unconscious for too long. Otherwise, Lin Qingxue will get worried again. Then I used my remaining strength to glance at the Jiangguo out of the corner of my eye. I'll have to trouble you guys again this time. The next second, I slowly closed my eyes. My body uncontrollably started to fall forward. I faintly heard the Jiangguo shouting loudly towards the door, quick, get someone. Send him to the Mobe military hospital immediately. In the sky above Kyoto University, 4 of China's most advanced fighter jets roared past. In the center of these 4 fighter jets, an armed transport aircraft was flying steadily. The students who were taking a break all looked up at the blue sky, their expressions slightly tense. Holy crap. Escorted by 4 fighter jets. Who is sitting on that transport plane? In the middle? Or are they transporting some crucial materials? Even fighter jets were mobilized. What major event happened? Some students also took out their phones to start taking pictures. The normally amiable military training instructors instantly stood up. Everyone, put your phones down. No photos allowed. Delete all the photos you took completely. Accompanied by the continuous sounds of reprimands, the voice of the chief instructor also sounded over the broadcast. Everyone's break time is over. Put down the phones in your hands. Although they currently didn't know why so many fighter jets and transport aircraft were mobilized simultaneously above, it was definitely a major incident. And in other areas of Kyoto, it wasn't that nobody captured this scene, but surprisingly, either the videos in their hands couldn't be sent out at all, or after being sent out, they were all deleted within less than 1 minute. Lin Qingxue looked up at the fighter jets roaring past in the sky. For some unknown reason, she suddenly felt a tightness in her heart. Li Qian quickly noticed her abnormality. Qingxue, what's wrong? Your face looks a bit pale. It's nothing. Just suddenly feeling a bit unwell. You'll be fine after resting for a while. But her gaze was fixed tightly on the fighter jets speeding by in the sky. 3 days later, in the special care ward of Kyoto Military Hospital, after I was sent to the Kyoto General Hospital, the higher-ups directly issued an order, basically calling over all the top experts within the general hospital to collectively examine and consult on my case, making all of them anxious, until it was officially confirmed that I was just overly fatigued, needs to rest. Only then did everyone heave a sigh of relief. At this time, on the playground of Kyoto University, Li Xian asked Lin Qingxue beside him, Qingxue, do you want to drink milk tea? No, I'm feeling annoyed. I don't want to eat anything. What's wrong with you? You've been absent-minded for the past 3 days. What's going on? After regaining her senses, Li Qian started asking her with a smile. It couldn't be because of Wang Shuji, right? I heard that he plans to confess to you at the orientation party tonight. You're not troubled by this, are you? That's not the main reason. Since 3 days ago, after I said good morning to him, he disappeared as if he evaporated from the world. I sent him many messages continuously, but didn't get a single reply. It's as if I've disappeared again. At the Kyoto Military General Hospital, while the 2 old academicians were bickering, I, lying on the hospital bed, twitched my fingers slightly. Then I slightly opened my eyes, using my peripheral vision to glance at the Jiangguo and Wang Wiming beside me. I spoke weakly. My phone. Where's my phone? The Jiangguo instantly stood up from the sofa in the ward and happily leaned in front of me. Then he shouted loudly towards the outside of the ward. Xiao, Shu, you're awake. Doctor, come quick. The patient is awake. I glanced at the 2 excited people. I just took a nap, didn't I? There's no need to be so excited after waking up. Then I repeated again. You 2 elders, whoever has time, please help me. Get my phone for a moment. By the way, How many days have I been unconscious this time? The Jiangwo nodded repeatedly and handed the phone to me. 3 days. I took it and quickly unlocked the phone screen. A series of contents instantly popped up in front of me. It was a long string of messages from Lin Qingxue. Good night. Did you not sleep all night last night? Where are you? Xiaoyu, are you planning to disappear again? Still not replying to my messages? Xiaoyu, it'll give you half an hour. If you don't reply again, I will never talk to you again. Xiaoyu, you bastard. It'll give you one last chance. Reply to my message. Xiaoyu, where on earth did you go? Xiaoyu, I hate you. Third bro, let me tell you some urgent news. In 2 days at our college's orientation party, that sophomore in our college, the vice president of the student union is going to confess to Senior Lin. Are you done with your family matters yet? I swiped the screen and opened the class group. All members. Tonight is our department's orientation party. All students must enter the auditorium with an admission ticket. Make sure not to lose your admission ticket. Also, students from our class who prepared a performance, do your best tonight and bring glory to our class. After quickly reading this series of messages, I immediately looked up rapidly and called out to a few doctors who had just walked to the door of the ward. Can I be discharged today? Before the doctors could react, the Zhongguo and Wang Wyman simultaneously looked at Xiaoyu. Xiao, Ch. Chu. Didn't the doctor tell you to rest well? Why do you want to be discharged today? If it's to attend tonight's celebration banquet, we can get someone to pick you up from the hospital. Pushing you over in a wheelchair works too. Or in my opinion, you should just not go. The doctor also walked up to me. Mr. Ku, it's not a problem if you want to be discharged today, but can you guarantee that your limbs will recover within this half day? I can guarantee it. I looked at Wang Wyman and the Zhongwu. What is the arrangement for the celebration banquet? The location of the celebration banquet is at the Great Hall. Starting at 7 o'clock, around 7:30, the chief will come over to present awards and give a speech. Then it will end at 8 o'clock. And well, go to Jiangshan Pavilion State Guest House for dinner. I glanced again at the time of the orientation party on my phone. The starting time for the orientation party is 8 p.m. How long does it take to get to our school from Jiangshan Pavilion? It's very close. About 10 minutes. The Jiangwo was instantly shocked. Xiao Chu, you don't want to go back to school, do you? With your physical condition, can you manage it? It's fine. Please trouble you 2 elders to help me up and order some food for me while you're at it. After eating, I will start doing rehabilitation exercises. After attending the celebration banquet tonight, I want to accompany you guys for dinner. Just prepare a car for me and send me back to school. Why do you have to go back today? The doctor also said you'll be fine after resting for 2 or 3 days. Why are you in such a hurry for these 2 or 3 days? I sighed helplessly. My house is being stolen. Inside the great auditorium of Kyoto University, freshmen and seniors from the School of Economics and Management gathered together. Sitting row by row, among the seats in the great auditorium, Lin Qingxue was standing in the lounge. Behind the stage curtain of the auditorium, after adjusting her clothes, Wang Shuji immediately walked up to Lin Qingxue with a smile. How is it? Class monitor, are you nervous? I'm okay, Lin Qingxue replied indifferently. Then she sat down in the lounge, on her own chair, and casually started playing with her phone. Seeing this, Wang Qiuji was slightly taken aback. But the next moment, his gaze became even more determined. Zhu Pengfei and the others were sitting in the auditorium seats. The 3 guys from the dorm whispered to each other. I say, third bro won't be late tonight. Will he? He said he would come over to attend the party tonight. Third bro replied in the dorm group chat, saying he's on his way. He will definitely arrive within 10 minutes. 10 minutes, that's okay. That's okay. Holy crap, what's going on here? Quick, look in the class group chat. The counselor sent a message, saying that the female student in our class who prepared a performance suddenly felt unwell and was in so much pain she went straight to the infirmary. She probably can't go on stage. Asking in the group if anyone can play the piano. Do any of you know how to play the piano? I really don't know how. The next second, I suddenly replied to a message in the class group chat. I know how I can go up instead of her immediately after. I sent another message in the dorm group chat. How much time is left before our class's performance begins? About half an hour. Okay, it'll be right there. A few minutes later, that black sedan immediately stopped. At the entrance of the great auditorium of Kyoto University. Thank you, sorry for the trouble. After thanking the driver, I immediately rushed quickly to the entrance of the great auditorium. Seeing me, a few members of the student union standing at the entrance of the auditorium were instantly slightly stunned. Then they stopped me at the entrance of the auditorium. Excuse me, classmate? May I ask which college you are from? Tonight, Inside here is our School of Economics and Management's orientation party. If you don't have an invitation letter, you cannot enter. I am from Class 1 of Economics and Management, but I left my invitation letter in the dorm. Can you make an exception? Excuse me, Junior? How can you prove that you are from our School of Economics and Management? Do you have your student ID? Yes. I quickly nodded, sent a message asking Ju Penfei and the others to come to the auditorium entrance to pick me up, and immediately opened my phone's photo album. From it, I pulled up a picture of my student ID. The student union member took my phone, carefully compared it, the photo on the student ID and me in person, and muttered softly, Xiaoyu, right? You look better in person than in the photo. All right, go on in. Thank you. Holy crap. Third bro, you finally came back. Where is Lin Qingxue right now? Where else could she be? Right now, she is in the backstage lounge of the great auditorium. Take me to find her. We can't go. Only performers can go backstage. Right? We can't. Xiaoyu can though. Isn't he the performer? Playing the piano for our class now? Third bro, I didn't expect you to have learned to play the piano. Learned it when I was a kid. Then what are we waiting for? Let's go. Let's go. Inside the lounge, Zhang Mingyang approached the senior in charge of the program flow. Senior, I'm really sorry. Could you please let us change the piece? What is wrong with you guys? Changing the performer right before the performance, and now you want to change the piece? If people from every class acted like your class, then are we going to hold this orientation party or not? Senior, I'm really sorry. The main reason is that this new classmate of ours isn't quite familiar with that piece. Please let us change it. Where is the replacement person? Tell him to come talk to me himself. Our third bro isn't very good at talking. A bit shy. There, Hayes, standing right there. Senior, please make an exception. The senior glanced at me, and her eyes instantly lit up. You're saying the guy who's going to play the piano is him? I also know the piece, A Maiden's Prayer. It expresses a young girl's anticipation of beautiful fantasies. Is he planning to play this piece for his girlfriend to hear? No. How could that be? Senior, our third bro from primary school until now, let alone dating. He hasn't even held a girl's hand, however. Lin Qingxue took a deep breath. After shaking her head, her voice trembled slightly. Next, let's welcome student Xiaoyu from Economics and Management Class 1 to bring us a piano piece. A Maiden's Prayer. As the voice fell, student union personnel from backstage came forward and moved a piano from the side of the stage to one side of the stage. All right, Junior, it's your turn to go on stage. Good luck. I nodded slightly. Then slowly, from the backstage lounge, step by step, I walked up the stairs and went up to the stage. My gaze deeply glanced at Lin Qingxue standing expressionlessly on the other side of the stage. Before quickly walking to the front of the audience, I bowed slightly to greet them. Then I walked to the center of the stage, and after bowing slightly to greet the audience below the stage, I stood at the side of the stage again and looked deeply at Lin Qingxue. Only then did I slowly walk off the stage. Lin Qingxue quickly gathered her emotions and went on stage with Wang Shuji. After finishing the announcement for the next program, she looked at Wang Shuji and said, I have something to do. I'm going backstage for a bit. If I don't come over later, you can announce the next one by yourself. Lin Qingxue had just walked from the stage to the lounge. Her eyes hadn't seen me yet, and her right hand was grabbed by me. Come out with me for a bit. Lin Qingxue didn't struggle either. Expressionlessly, she was dragged by me into the hallway outside the lounge. As soon as the lounge door was closed, Lin Qingxue forcefully shook off my hand. Releasing my grip on her hand, she looked at me coldly. Xiaoyu, have you had enough fun? 3 days ago, you disappeared without a word. And now you suddenly appear again? And even run onto the stage to perform. What do you want by dragging me out here? Do you think this is very fun? Or do you want to see how miserable I've been these past 2 days? Qingxue. I felt a bit guilty, but I didn't know how to explain it either. I couldn't exactly say I slept in the hospital for 3 days, right? What do you mean, Xiaoyu? I admit that I used to like you in high school. Even when school started and I knew the news that you were not dead, I was also very happy because I still had feelings for you. That's why early in the morning, I hurriedly ran to the entrance of the boys' dorm to wait. But this is not a reason for you to play me again and again. Last time you disappeared without a word, I didn't ask you for the reason. But now you disappeared without a word for 3 days again. What are you doing? Not answering calls. Not replying to messages. Do you really think that because I like you, you can do whatever you want in front of me? Qingxue, I really didn't do it on purpose. There was a reason I didn't reply to your messages for these 3 days. I really didn't mean to, and I came to Kyoto University for you too. Please give me one more chance. I promise I will never disappear for no reason again. Is this your explanation? I really ran into an incident at that time. Then just say it. What was the reason exactly? Even if you are busy, you wouldn't be unable to even send a message, right? Never mind. Then you don't need to explain. Xiaoyu, I don't care about your sudden disappearance 3 years ago. And whatever the reason you came to Kyoto University now, I don't care about any of this anymore. During these 3 days, I have also thought it through clearly. Reply to messages or not as you please. Go wherever you want to go. Be as carefree as you want. From now on, your life has absolutely nothing to do with me. This way, I don't have to be constantly on edge wondering when you will leave without a word again. I'm already very tired, Xiaoyu. I don't want to like you anymore. Let's just end it here between us. Let's mind our own business. In the future, well, pretend we don't know each other. As her voice fell, she walked past me expressionlessly, quickly pushed open the back door of the lounge, and walked into the lounge with large strides, attracting the surrounding gazes of everyone inside. It wasn't until Lin Qingxue walked onto the other side of the stage again that a crystal-clear teardrop quietly slipped from her beautiful eyes, but quickly, the teardrop was wiped away by her. After taking a deep breath, she suppressed the grief in her heart and forced a smile onto her face. Brushing past me was all an act she put on, but the story can only end here. Perhaps only after letting go completely will she no longer have to worry about when I will disappear again. Her youth is completely over. I looked at Lin Qingxue's retreating figure, wanting to ask her to stay, but after pondering for a long time, I still silently turned and left the backstage hallway. After sending a message to Ju Penfei to ask for the location of their class, I returned to my own class's location. Just as I sat down, Ju Penfei and the others leaned over. Third bro. Did your confession to Lin Qingxue succeed? What confession? You participating in this performance? Wasn't it just to go backstage to find Lin Qingxue to confess to her? No. What do you mean? The confession failed because I didn't reply to her messages for 3 days before, so she got angry. Third bro, this is your fault. Oh, right. Since you are back now, tonight, our classmates organized a gathering. Everyone is going to AKTV to sing together tonight. The private room is already booked. Let's all go sing together tonight. Drinking some drinks. There's no hurdle that can't be overcome. All right, but I'll skip the drinks. My stomach has been acting up these past 2 days. I'll just accompany you guys and hang out and get to know some faces while I'm at it. Otherwise, it's been so long since school started, and I still don't know my classmates. That would be awkward. In the future, if there are no major projects for me, I will probably stay in school all the time. It's also right to get to know my classmates' faces. I still have this bit of emotional intelligence. Sure. Ha ha ha. Tonight, this young master will let you all know what a karaoke king's voice sounds like. On the stage, Wang Shuji quickly walked up to Lin Qingxue. Class monitor, what's wrong? What happened? Nothing. Lin Qingxue shook her head expressionlessly, then ignored Wang Shuji and looked blankly at the stage. At the others who were performing, time flew by. The orientation party's program lasted only 2 hours. After the last performance ended, Lin Qingxue and Wang Shuji went on stage together to deliver the closing speech. But after the closing speech ended, just as everyone was about to leave, perhaps Wang Shuji had arranged it beforehand, the spotlight on the stage suddenly shone on Wang Shuji. Immediately after, a student from the side of the stage immediately handed a bouquet of roses to Wang Shuji. Seeing this scene on the big screen, the students who were about to leave all sat back down, showing expressions of eager anticipation for some drama. Taking up a few minutes of everyone's time, I hope everyone can witness this moment for me. Wang Shuji picked up the microphone in his hand, looked at everyone off stage and said loudly, "Student Lin Qingxue, from the first time I saw you in our freshman year, I have fallen deeply in love with you now. I am confessing to you in front of all the students in the college." Saying that, he held up the flowers in his hand and raised them to Lin Qingxue's eyes. "I have liked you for a year and pursued you for a year. I want to understand you and want to know what the world looks like in your eyes. I don't know since when. I realized I can no longer live without you. So today, I hope you can give me a chance to let me stand openly and honestly by your side and be with you." As his voice fell, the entire great auditorium instantly fell into a moment of silence. The next second, the crowd offstage started discussing among themselves. This guy is really cunning. In front of so many people, will she agree or not agree? Third, bro, say the word. Should we go up? But before I could speak, Lin Qingxue spoke directly to Wang Shuji. Sorry, I know my accepting your confession is the result you hope for. But for me, if I want to be with someone, I really have to like them a lot. But unfortunately, because I can't like you as much as you like me, so I cannot accept your confession. And Wang Shuji, I have already told you very clearly long ago I don't like you. So today is the last time? There will be no next time. After saying that, she just held the microphone and without hesitation turned and left. I breathed a sigh of relief. All right, the party is over. Let's go back to the dorm to shower and change clothes first. Aren't we going to KTV to sing later? Right, let's go. I looked up again at Lin Qingxue's retreating figure. After a soft sigh, I followed Zhu Pengfei and the others with a determined gaze and left. Love and ideals are not in conflict. I won't give up so easily. On the main road of the campus, Li Qian stood beside Lin Qingxue. Qingxue, the way you just rejected Wang Shuji was just too cool. It's just a pity. Our old Wang is going to suffer a setback again. Are we really leaving this heartlessly? How about you go be his girlfriend? Lin Qingxue gave Li Qian an annoyed look. I don't like him anyway. He insisted on confessing in front of so many people. What could I do? Since he could openly confess in front of so many people, he should be prepared for his confession to be rejected. I'm not going to indulge his bad habits. After looking at Li Shan's phone screen, she turned her head away. But the next second, she immediately turned her head back and snatched the phone from Li Qian's hand. Wait a minute, let me take a closer look. Saying that, she stared at Li Qian's phone screen, at a photo posted on Weibo of a Chinese Academy of Sciences press conference. After zooming in, she began to observe it carefully. This is just a photo of a press conference. What's so interesting about it? This is Xiaoyu. Lin Qingxue was stunned, although the photo only captured his back. But the person sitting in the outermost seat of the first row, the clothes he was wearing, and that back figure looked exactly like me. She might mistake others, but she would absolutely never mistake my back figure. Then, thinking of the medal I was wearing on my chest just now, at first she didn't think much of it. But after seeing this photo of the back figure, a bold thought instantly appeared in her mind. Could my disappearance have been because I went to attend this press conference? But how old am I? And what kind of ability do I have to be able to attend a press conference of this level? They should all be big shots in the scientific research industry, right? Moreover, I was actually sitting in the very front seat. That makes it even more unbelievable. But my back figure, she definitely wouldn't mistake it. Is it an illusion? Qianchen, let's go back to the dorm. After returning to the dorm, Lin Qingxue found that large image herself. After carefully looking at it for a while, she immediately turned on her computer and started searching quickly on the internet. Many medals looked similar to the one I was wearing on my chest, but they also seemed different from that one medal. Qingxue, what are you searching for on the internet? Nothing, just looking up some information. I'm done searching now. Qianchen, tell me, who are the people who attend the Chinese Academy of Sciences press conferences? They should be some academicians of the Chinese Academy of Sciences and senior researchers of the Chinese Academy of Sciences, or some leaders from the General Administration of Science and Technology, right? Makes sense. Lin Qingxue nodded slowly. Then she couldn't help but laugh self-deprecatingly. What was I expecting just now? Expecting that Xiaoyu was because he had to attend the Chinese Academy of Sciences press conference and had some non-disclosure agreement or something. So he couldn't use his phone to message me for 3 days? How could that be? Besides, even if it really was Xiaoyu, what does it have to do with me? He and I are already in the past. After returning to the dorm on my side, I changed out of the suit I was wearing and carefully took off the medal from the clothes and put it in the drawer of the dorm desk. Then I took out my clean clothes and ran to the dorm bathroom to take a shower. At 10:30 p.m., I arrived with Zhu Pengfei and the others. At a KTV in the center of Kyoto, the one leading the organization of the activity was the acting class monitor of our class. Military training is finally over. Tomorrow is a holiday. Tonight, no one goes home until they're full. Halfway through the party, I prepared to go out to use the restroom. But after walking around, I couldn't find it. Just at this moment, from the hallway next to me, a group of men and women suddenly ran out. What's going on here? Running so fast? Based on the principle of seeking advantage and avoiding harm, I immediately prepared to slip away. But at this moment, the scolding voices of several men suddenly rang in my ears. You all stop right there. Don't run. I turned around to look and immediately saw a few men chasing after quickly. My retreating speed became even faster. But before I could run 2 steps, I was directly caught by the collar, by one of the men chasing. Don't move. Hey friend. Is there a problem? I am a police officer. Be good and go back to the private room with me first. Well, send you all to the police station later. Why? What crime did I commit? What are you guys doing? What are we doing? Don't you know in your own heart? Holy crap, why are you arresting me? I didn't do anything. I am innocent. Everyone we catch says they didn't do anything. Since you are innocent, why did you run when you saw us? Cut the crap and go back to the private room with us first. Saying that, the man took me back to a private room In the dim private room, 7 or 8 men and women were squatting, and more people who were caught were brought back later. Mr. Police Officer, I really am not from the same private room as them. I just came out to sing with my friends. If you don't believe me, I can call them over to prove it. Okay, you call them. He glanced at me. Compared to the others in the private room, he slowly nodded. I instantly rejoiced inwardly, and quickly took out my phone, dialing a number from the dorm group chat, but perhaps the music in the KTV was too loud, or they were too high from drinking. Not a single person answered the phone. Do you remember your private room number? I forgot. I forgot that I didn't even know the private room number to begin with. Then just stay here and behave for now. When we get back to the police station later, if you're clear, you can naturally leave. Our police station is not far from here. When the time comes, you can just call your friends to pick you up. Call friends to pick me up. My eyes lit up slightly, looking at everyone thoughtfully. At this time, the private room door was pushed open. 2 men wearing black casual clothes walked up to a few plainclothes police officers, casually taking out their IDs. Comrades, we can vouch for him. He really is not someone from this private room, so we have to take this person away. You guys are... He took the ID, turned on the lights in the private room. After seeing the contents of the ID clearly, his expression instantly became solemn. You are from the General Administration of Security, Mr. Chu. We are arranged by the higher-ups to protect your personal safety. You too, comrades. Do I know you? I advise you not to meddle in other people's business. My gaze immediately became resentful. The two looked at each other, feeling somewhat confused. At this time, from the private room side, Ju Pengfei called, "Third, bro, why did you call me earlier?" "It's nothing. I just had something to deal with halfway. You guys, go ahead and have fun first. Then are you still coming over later?" "That depends on the situation." "Okay, then you go ahead and handle your business." The private room was dead silent, especially the group of men and women squatting on the floor. Their expressions were even more bewildered. Mr. Police Officer, I can vouch for this little brother. He really is not from our private room. Just let him go. You shouldn't meddle either." I rolled my eyes at that guy and looked at the lead police officer. "Mr. Police Officer, later when I get taken in and you confirm I have no problem. Does that mean I can call someone to pick me up?" "Yes, indeed. That works. When are we heading over?" "If it's any later, our school dorm will probably be locked and the person coming to get me won't be able to get out." "Who else do you want to call to get you out?" "People from the General Administration of Security have come to vouch for you. Why are you still insisting on not leaving?" "My friend." "The reason? Isn't it obvious?" "I was arrested by the police." The corners of the Security Administration personnel's mouths twitched. "You two have been following me all along." The 2 Security Administration personnel looked at each other. One of them typed out a paragraph on his phone for me to see. "Because of the previous identity leak on the internet, to prevent overseas organizations from targeting you. So for the next period of time, we will be by your side to protect you. Thank you. Sorry for the trouble." Soon after the police officers rounded up everyone, including me, this willing civilian, we were all taken into the police car. My matter was quickly cleared up, with the Security Administration personnel vouching for me, and surveillance showing I was mistakenly arrested. After a simple statement, I was fine. The 2 Security Administration personnel also disappeared. They were only responsible for protecting me secretly. I checked the time on my phone, 11:20 p.m. There were still 40 minutes before the school dorm curfew at 12 o'clock. I picked up my phone and sent a message to Lin Qingxue. "Save me." After Lin Qingxue saw the message, her heart tightened instantly. She sent a question mark back. "What's wrong with you?" "I got arrested. I need someone to come bail me out." "Xiaoyu, are you sick in the head?" After sending this message, Lin Qingxue sent another 60-second voice message. I chose not to listen to the voice message. "Can't the others in your dorm come get you out? Why do I have to come? What's our relationship anyway? Their phones aren't going through. I don't know what they're doing. Just for the sake of our past friendship, come get me out. You wouldn't leave me to die, would you? I was mistakenly arrested. Just need someone to sign and claim me." Wait. Half an hour later, Lin Qingxue walked into the police station where I was detained. "Miss, how can I help you?" Excuse me? Let me ask you. Is there someone named Xiaoyu who is detained here? I am here to bail him out." "You are his girlfriend, right? Did you have a fight with your boyfriend? Hurry up and take your boyfriend away." "He is not my boyfriend." "But what do you mean by hurry up and take him away?" "The story about your boyfriend has spread all over our police station. He was supposedly accompanying a group of people from his dorm singing in a KTV, and then happened to run into our police officers handling a case, and was mistakenly arrested. Although his innocence was proven at the KTV, he still stubbornly insisted on following our officers back to the police station, saying he wanted to wait for his friend to pick him up. Young couples fighting. It's not an insurmountable hurdle. Take him back and give him a good scolding, and that's it. Couples fight at the head of the bed and make up at the foot. I see your boyfriend really went all out to see you. Okay. I'm really sorry for causing you trouble. Guided by the duty officer, Lin Qingxue quickly found me, sitting in the lounge waiting. After the duty officer left, her face instantly turned cold. She strode towards me. Xiaoyu, is there something wrong with your brain? Didn't I say that from now on we mind our own business? Do you really not know what that sentence means? Calling me to come all this way just to scold you is also really unnecessary. Just for this? You ran to the police station? Why didn't you just let the police lock you up to cool off for a few days? But even if I really got locked up by the police, it's better than you really not wanting to see me again. I looked up slightly, showing a pitiful expression. Lin Qingxue froze. Stop pretending to be pitiful. Stand up quickly. Believe it or not, I'll hit you with a shovel. Until your medical insurance card runs out of money. I got the rabies vaccine. You think I'm afraid of you? Right? Someone like you who isn't even afraid of going to the police station. What else could you be afraid of? If you're so capable, don't message me to pick you up. I'm not capable. Let's go. Do you want to stay here overnight? Oh, I silently stood up and stood next to Lin Qingxue like a timid little wife. Let's talk. After leaving the police station, Lin Qingxue stood in front of me, looked up and asked, Okay. I nodded slightly. My stomach suddenly started rumbling. Hungry? Yes. Then let's grab something to eat while we're at it. The two of us didn't say a word along the way, walking and stopping. Finally, at an intersection, we found a barbecue shop. After casually ordering some barbecue, Lin Qingxue asked the boss for 2 bottles of cold drinks, opened them with a bottle opener, poured a glass for herself, and poured another glass for me. Have a drink first. I glanced at the drinks and remembered the doctor's instructions when I was discharged in the evening. You must eat light food for the next couple of days. No smoking, no drinks. Did you hear me? But the next second, I nodded without hesitation, raised my glass and clinked it with Lin, downed the drink in one gulp. Goosebumps all over my body. Secretly glancing at Lin Qingxue from the corner of my eye. What are you looking at me for? Nothing. Then why are you looking? I can't help it. Don't pretend to be pitiful. Hurry up and eat the barbecue. I silently picked up a skewer. Lin Qingxue watched me eat, her eyes complex. I took a few bites and looked at Lin Qingxue. Why aren't you eating? I'm waiting for you to apologize first. I'm sorry. That's it? Lin Qingxue raised an eyebrow. I left without saying goodbye 3 years ago. I'm sorry. I didn't reply to your messages a few days ago. I'm sorry. That's more like it. So how do you plan to make it up to me? You tell me, as long as I can do it. Very simple. Tell me where exactly you went these past 3 years. Why did you disappear suddenly? What? You can't tell me? It's not that I can't. Then you just don't want to tell me? Lin Qingxue stood up. If that's the case, then I'll leave first. Don't go. I grabbed her hand. I'll talk. I'll tell you. Lin Qingxue stopped in her tracks and looked back at me. 3 years ago, something happened at home. I had to leave. A few days ago, my phone broke. I took it to get fixed, so I couldn't reply to your messages. That's it? Yes. Okay, I believe you. Lin Qingxue sat down, picked up a skewer and started eating. I breathed a sigh of relief. So we are friends now. Of course, that's good. The two chatted while eating. The atmosphere gradually eased. After finishing the barbecue, it was already past midnight. Where to now? I don't know. The dorm should be locked. Let's go to a hotel. What are you thinking? Book 2 rooms. Oh, okay. The two walked to the entrance of a hotel and walked in. How can I help you? Hello. Please book 2 rooms for us. The man at the front desk took a look at the hands the two were still holding and froze for a moment. He said grumpily, Right now, our hotel only has luxury couples double rooms left. Room rate is 400. Deposit is 200. Do you want it? Should we try another place? I looked at Lin Qingxue. Lin Qingxue picked up her phone and searched. The surrounding places are all fully booked. Is there a sofa in the room? Yes. Then let's just book 1 room. Tonight, you sleep on the sofa and I sleep on the bed. Okay. The two registered and went to their room. As soon as we entered, we saw a heart shape made of rose. Petals sprinkled in the center of the bed. Lin Qingxue's cheeks instantly flushed red. She fled in panic to the bathroom, turned on the faucet and splashed cold water on her face. Lin Qingxue, you have to hold it together. How about I clean this up? I swept the rose petals into the trash can. Lin Qingxue came out of the bathroom. Do you want to take a shower before sleeping? I came out after taking a shower. What about you? I washed too. Then let's go to sleep. Lin Qingxue took a deep breath, sat on the bed, grabbed a pillow, and threw it onto the sofa. Tonight you sleep on the sofa and I sleep on the bed. Okay, it's fine. I nodded slightly. Lay on the sofa. At this moment, weird noises came from upstairs. The two's faces froze instantly. Let's just turn off the lights and sleep. After about 20 minutes, the noises upstairs gradually died down. Outside the window, the moonlight hung high. Xiaoyu, are you asleep? No. What's wrong with your voice? Are you a bit cold? How about you come up to sleep? But there is a boundary line in the middle. No one is allowed to cross it. My eyes instantly lit up. I jumped from the sofa onto the bed. You're not allowed to move around. I absolutely won't move. The room fell quiet, leaving only the sound of the two's breathing. Half an hour later, I abruptly opened my eyes. My consciousness entered the eternal treasure house of knowledge. Lin Qingxue had no idea. My consciousness was in the treasure house of knowledge. Her eyes flickering, she stared at me for a while. Seeing me sound asleep, her whole body gradually relaxed and inexplicably glared at me again. The next day near noon, the sun outside shone through the window onto the blanket. Lin Qingxue's phone suddenly rang. Who is it? Lin Qingxue fumbled for her phone impatiently. It was Lin Qingxue calling. Qingxue, what's going on with you? It's almost noon, and you're still not back at school. Noon already? Lin Qingxue felt something heavy pressing on her. Ah, Xiaoyu, get up right now. Looking at me pressing on her, she slapped me directly. Xiaoyu, what? Xiaoyu. Qingxue, you didn't come back to the dorm last night? Could it be? Qianchen, I have something going on here. I'll explain to you later. 10 minutes later, I pointed to my cheek where a handprint had already appeared and blocked the bathroom door directly. My face is so red now. Are you going to take responsibility? Lin Qingxue froze for a moment. Seeing the handprint on my face, that perfectly matched her hand. She immediately couldn't help but laugh. Sorry about that. My bad. I originally wanted to hold it in, but I really couldn't. The way this handprint looks is just too funny. I walked past Lin Qingxue, opened the toiletry kit on the sink next to me, took out the toothbrush and squeezed out the toothpaste, and also took the mouthwash cup next to it and filled it with water. Brush your teeth first. After brushing our teeth, it'll take you out for lunch. Well, go back to school together after eating. But before we eat, you have to do something for me. Oh, what else do you want to do? Go down to the supermarket and buy me a mask. I guess this handprint won't fade for a few hours. How can I go out and see people without wearing a mask? Haha, that's true. Wait, I'll definitely buy you a mask that is both handsome and good-looking. By the time Lin Qingxue came back, I had almost finished washing up. Seeing the two masks in Lin Qingxue's hand, I immediately asked in confusion, why did you buy 2 masks? Isn't one enough? Lin Qingxue curled her lips. After putting on a black mask herself, she handed the other black mask to me. I just wanted to put it on. It should barely be able to cover the handprint. I took a deep look at Lin Qingxue, took the mask, put it on, and then asked, what do you want to eat for lunch? Whatever. You can't say whatever. You decide. Then guess what? I plan to take you to eat later. Hot pot. You guessed it right. Outside the hotel, after Xiaoyu and Lin Qingxue left the hotel and were walking on the road, silently, behind the two of them, 2 men's figures appeared. They were exactly the 2 General Administration of Security personnel who were prepared to get Xiaoyu out last night. I got it. Don't worry. If something really happens, even if I have to die, I will protect her well. What's wrong? Did something happen? Just received news. Someone is targeting Xiaoyu. Should be coming from across the Pacific. It's all because of those fans of Lele. Exposing things on the internet for no reason, just causing trouble for us. Originally, my resume was crystal clear. Going to school normally wouldn't be a problem at all. I didn't expect that my information would be exposed by someone. Plus, because of the appearance of the 1 nanometer lithography machine technology, China is right in the spotlight. With this stunt, even if the higher-ups intervened and quickly quelled this matter. However, given the nature of those foreign organizations, that would rather kill by mistake than let anyone go. It would be hard for my identity not to be targeted. On my end, Lin Qingxue and I simply found a hot pot restaurant. After eating hot pot, the 2 of us waited for a bus. Preparing to take the bus back to school after getting on the bus, Lin Qingxue immediately sat in the window seat. I naturally sat down beside her, then took out my phone, and casually took out a pair of earphones from my pocket. After plugging the earphones into the phone, I handed one of the earphones to Lin Qingxue. Want to listen to music? Okay. Then before she could react, I just picked up the earphone, slowly stood up from the seat, walked around to the front of Lin Qingxue, and seriously put the earphone in her left ear. Seeing me so close at hand, Lin Qingxue's heart rate unconsciously sped up. Why? Why are you so close to me? Putting the earphone in for you Why can't you put it in the right ear? Because I'm holding the left one? After slowly putting the earphone in for Lin Qingxue, I then sat back down in my seat. If you think the left ear isn't okay, how about I switch it over? Lin Qingxue rolled her eyes directly. No need. Deliberate. Xiaoyu was definitely doing it on purpose. It will be the Mid-Autumn Festival in a few days. Do you want to go back for the Mid-Autumn Festival? Not going back. It's only a 3-day holiday. It's too much trouble going back and forth. It's a pity since going to college. This is already the second Mid-Autumn Festival I haven't gone back. I really want to go back and see the fireworks show on Zhuangyuanzhou at home. There's a scenic spot in their hometown. It's in the middle of a big river. Because of the whirlpools, sand and rocks accumulated and gradually evolved into a small island. And then it became a scenic spot. During festivals, especially grand festivals like the Mid-Autumn Festival, after applying, the scenic spot administration on Zhuangyuanzhou will put on a fireworks show on the island. Only after arriving in Kyoto, fireworks are strictly prohibited within Kyoto. She hasn't seen fireworks for a long time. Do you really want to see them? Speaking of which, ever since joining the Chinese Academy of Sciences and leaving I haven't seen the fireworks at Zhuangyuanzhou and Shangnan for a long time either, only a little bit. But this is just a thought. Kyoto doesn't allow fireworks. That's not necessarily true. How do you know? Then how about we make a bet? What do you want to bet? If there are fireworks on the night of the Mid-Autumn Festival, you kiss me once. How about it? Bet or not? What if there isn't? If there isn't, I'll kiss you once. This way you won't lose out either. Lin Qingxue rolled her eyes directly. I'd lose. Big time. Okay. Only an idiot would bet with you. After returning to school, I accompanied Lin Qingxue to fetch food for her roommates. I escorted her back to her dorm. When I got back to the dorm, Zhu Pengfei and the others hadn't returned yet. I took my phone out of my pocket. After clicking on an app with a special logo on it, the phone screen instantly turned blue. This is a small app I made casually back when I was at the research base. It doesn't have any other use, but it can detect various signal sources within a 20-meter radius around me. After confirming that there were no surveillance or listening devices arranged in the room, I took out my secure phone and dialed Wang Wyman's number. The call connected quickly. Wang Wyman's hearty laughter came from inside. Xiao Ku, didn't we just meet yesterday? What's the matter that you're calling me today? Elder Wang, I plan to apply for a laboratory at Kyoto University, and I might need you too. Allocate some materials and equipment to me. You have new ideas. Yes, regarding the required materials, I will organize them into a materials list later and send it to your email. In the evening, Army Green trucks quickly drove into Kyoto University. It instantly attracted the onlookers' attention. The next day, I looked at this spacious, large laboratory and the precision instruments placed inside, clapped my hands together, and cheered myself on. Let's begin. On the other side, inside the girls' dorm, because Lin Qingxue and her roommates had no classes in the morning, so they didn't go to the teaching building either. Li Qian was resting, while the other two classmates went to the school library to read books. As for Lin Qingxue, she was watching the market, the stock market. This is also one of the reasons why she is favored by some professors at Gingda. Her sensitivity in finance is extremely strong. Just in her freshman year, she used the 200,000 startup capital given by her family to earn 300,000, a nearly 150 fund-term return rate. But just at this moment, an email suddenly popped up on the computer desktop she was logged into. After seeing this email, Lin Qingxue froze for a moment and then quickly moved the mouse to click on it. This was an email sent from Kyoto University. Lin Qingxue quickly skimmed through the contents of this email and immediately screamed in ecstasy in the dorm. No way. Is this true or false? Oh my god. Professor Zhang actually wants to take me on as his combined master's and doctoral student. The Professor Zhang she mentioned is a famous finance professor at Jing and one of the few authoritative economics professors in the country. He even participated in drafting codes and bills related to the economic field. She initially had the thought of applying for this professor's graduate program. She didn't expect to be directly admitted exempt from exams into the combined program this time. As long as she finished her undergraduate studies, she could immediately go to him for her master's and PhD. Then she directly took out her phone and quickly sent a message to me. Xiaoyu, Professor Zhang Chunlan from our college, wants to take me on for his combined master's and doctoral program. He is an authoritative professor in economics in the country. Li Qian leaned over, looked at Lin Qingxue in surprise and asked, Qingxue, the Professor Zhang you mentioned, wouldn't happen to be the old economics professor who chatted with you before, saying he welcomes you to apply for his graduate program, right? In their School of Economics and Management, As long as a student majors in an economics-related field, basically there isn't a single one who hasn't heard of this old professor's name. Yes, quickly call those two back. It's my treat for lunch today. Let's all go out to eat. A week later, Xiaoyu's phone rang. Ding. I glanced at the caller ID. It was a call from Wang Wyman. Elder Wang, it's Xiaoyu. What's the matter? Under normal circumstances, Wang Wyman wouldn't take the initiative to call me, let alone now when it's past 9 p.m. Xiaoyu, I'm really sorry to bother you so late, but right now there is a very urgent matter that needs your assistance. Wang Wyman paused for a moment and continued to ask, how many sets of nano-combat suits are available in your lab in total? 9 sets. Good. Half an hour later, someone from the military will fly a helicopter over to pick you up and take you to the military command center. Bring all 9 sets of nano-combat suits with you. To the military side, you come over first. It's inconvenient for me to disclose the specific details over the phone right now. Half an hour later, I took the nano storage boxes containing the 9 sets of nano-combat suits out of the lab, got on the military helicopter, and quickly headed to the military headquarters in Kyoto in the dark of the night. What happened? To be this urgent, not very clear. Our mission is only to pick you up and take you there. We know nothing about the rest. I frowned slightly, but didn't say anything more. More than an hour later, I was taken to a military command center. Seeing this, my frown deepened. Seeing me walk in, Lin Qingxue immediately stood up. From his seat, there were no pleasantries or polite greetings. He directly led me to the front of the command center and ordered the soldiers nearby to project a screen onto the large screen of the command center. Academician, coup. Look at this video first. Instantly, on the large screen of the command center, a scene of a tropical rainforest appeared, surrounded by dense trees towering into the clouds, and in the center of the screen, several dogs wearing steel armor appeared. That's right. They were dogs completely covered in steel. Their size was also 2 or 3 times larger than ordinary dogs. Ferocious fangs exposed in the air. Viscous saliva constantly dropping from their mouths, and when the saliva dropped to the ground, it would emit sizzling smoke, clearly full of strong corrosiveness. My expression instantly solidified. What is this? This is the reason we urgently called you over this time. This is the footage transmitted from our country's border an hour ago. The location is in the defense zone of a certain special forces unit stationed at our country's border. Just an hour ago, when our military personnel were on a normal patrol, they discovered these strange hounds. Rushing over from the border, we speculate that these should be mutant creatures, created by a certain criminal syndicate at the border. But these mutant creatures are really too bizarre. Not only can they not be killed by guns, even burning them with fire can't even burn off a single hair on their bodies. Because of this, we have already sacrificed a full squad of special forces. As I listened to Lin Qingxue's narration, while watching the various scenes on the screen, suddenly, my heart rate abruptly accelerated. This was no longer caused by simple genetic evolution. Someone artificially intervened in the mutation and evolution of the gene chains in these mutant hounds' bodies, and even inserted other gene segments into them. What do you need me to do now? Right now, there are more than a dozen Special Forces soldiers fighting these mutant hounds in the tropical rainforest. Otherwise, once these mutant hounds break through the border blockade line and break into ordinary people's living areas, the consequences would be unimaginable. So now we need to dispatch fighter jets to deliver the nano-combat suits to the special forces over there. Let them use the nano-combat suits to stop the advance of these creatures, sure, but because they are not yet proficient with the nano-combat suits, so I need to remotely control these nano-combat suits attached to our soldiers to fight, and after this incident is over, I hope to get a complete corpse of those mutant hounds from the footage. I need to research their gene sequences. My face showed a solemn expression for the first time. I knew that on these mutant hounds, there must be some unknown secrets hidden. Around 1 a.m., I finally came out of the military headquarters. Of course, at this hour I couldn't go back to school, nor did I stay in the military Hurrying back near the school late at night, found a comfortable hotel. After a simple wash-up, looked at my phone from more than an hour ago. Lin Qingxue sent a goodnight message. After sending a simple reply, I lay in the hotel room, deep in thought, weighed down by my concerns. I needed to properly think about the incident that happened today. It seemed like a simple animal genetic mutation incident. But for me, possessing the eternal knowledge repository, I had to think more deeply. And just at this moment, a few consecutive notification sounds from the phone rang. I tilted my head slightly. After picking up my phone and taking a look, I found it was a message from Lin Qingxue. Resting so late? Did something happen to you? Answer the phone. Seeing these messages, I took a deep breath and somewhat tremblingly picked up my phone, planning to reply. But the next second, Lin Qingxue's call came in. After forcibly suppressing my trembling fingers, I took several deep breaths in a row, even ran into the bathroom, splashed a few handfuls of cold water from the faucet onto my face, letting myself sober up slightly for a moment. Only then did I return to the room and answered the phone with a normal tone. Xiaoyu, are you asleep? Not yet. What's wrong? Didn't you go to sleep earlier? Did you wake up so fast? I couldn't fall asleep. What? Did you miss me? Just a little bit. I just saw the message you sent. Are you unhappy? Girls are very perceptive. Seeing the content of my message, she probably sensed that I must have encountered something. My mood is particularly low. Why do you say that? Maybe it's a mutual understanding. Anyway, I just knew you were unhappy. So you called me? I was afraid something was on your mind. But you couldn't find anyone to talk to. Come find you right now. If there's anything making you unhappy, don't hold it in by yourself. You can tell me. Don't be unhappy all by yourself. Okay, isn't it past curfew already? How can a tiny curfew stop this beautiful girl from seeing her man? Hanging up the phone call to Xiaoyu, Lin Qingxue quickly climbed out of her bed, carefully walked to the floor, quietly opened her wardrobe door, selected a set of casual clothes from inside, changed out of her pajamas. Lin Qingxue was about to open the dorm door and leave. Qingxue, it's so late. Where are you going? Lin Qingxue hesitated for a moment, then immediately leaned in front of Li Qian and whispered nervously, Qianchen, you're not asleep yet. Now is the time for you to sacrifice for your sister. What do you want to do? I have something to take care of and need to go out for a bit. Going to find Xiaoyu? Lin Qingxue nodded silently. Li Shan's eyes lit up. She quickly climbed down from her bed and whispered, Sister, you saying that makes me not sleepy anymore? You're not going to sneak into the boys' dorm, are you? So exciting? Lin Qingxue helplessly rolled her eyes at Li Qian in the dark. What are you thinking in that head of yours? Xiaoyu is not in the dorm tonight. He got a hotel room outside. I'm planning to go find him. What's wrong with our great school beauty, Lin? What are you blindly thinking? I understand. Tell me, what's the plan? Climbing out the window. When their dorm went out shopping together before, because they came back late and missed the curfew, they had also asked classmates to quietly open the girls' dorm lobby window for them, and then snuck in through the window. Later, let's quietly sneak down first. After making sure the dorm auntie is asleep, climb out the window. You just need to help me close the window. Li Qian nodded without hesitation, and then continued with a wicked smile. Okay, but it's agreed. You two must pay attention to safety. Go, go, go. Soon the sneaky duo arrived downstairs at the girls' dorm, first opened the iron gate separating the dorm floors. The two quickly arrived at the lobby area on the first floor of the dorm. The place where the dorm auntie usually rests is in a small room on the first floor of the dorm, but right now, the lights in the room she lives in have already gone out. Outside, you could still vaguely see the moonlight scattered on the ground. Lin Qingxue and Li Qian quickly ran to the window by the wall in the first floor lobby. After the two worked together to carefully open the window, Lin Qingxue directly and nimbly climbed from the ground onto the windowsill, turned to look at Li Qian, then get going. Remember to lock the window? Li Qian gave her an okay gesture. The next second, Lin Qingxue quickly climbed out the window and landed on the ground. But not knowing who it was, someone actually left an empty cola can thrown by the window. Lin Qingxue stepped down and stepped right onto the cola can, making a loud clattering sound. Instantly, in the room where the dorm auntie was resting, the lights suddenly turned on. Which dorm's little brat is it this time? Climbing out the window to sneak out past curfew all day long. Lin Qingxue, who had just landed, changed her expression. Sister, run. Be careful yourself. Then Lin Qingxue quickly ran forward. Li Qian forcefully closed the window, glanced at the moving figure in the room, and seeing the dorm auntie hadn't come out yet, immediately bolted and ran back into the hallway. A close call? A close call? Half an hour later, Lin Qingxue knocked on the door of the hotel room where I was staying. Seeing Lin Qingxue standing prettily at the door, I immediately asked curiously, how did you manage to get out? He didn't. You know the window in the lobby on the first floor of our girls' dorm can be opened from the inside. I climbed out the window. Mr. Chu, I ran all this way. You're not going to refuse to let me in, are you? I made way. After Lin Qingxue entered, she directly jumped onto the bed in the room, pulled back the covers, patted the empty spot beside her, and then waved at me with a face full of anticipation. Come over and chat with me to relieve some fatigue. A smile slowly appeared on my slightly heavy face. After firmly hiding my own emotions, I smiled and walked over next to Lin Qingxue. Running over to my place this late? Aren't you afraid I might? Am not afraid of you? I stared intently at Lin Qingxue's stare. Yeah. I shook my head. Can't tell you. I nodded slightly. Lin Qingxue took a deep breath, and then very naturally lay down on my lap. Looking up at me in front of her, smiled and said, "All right, since you can't tell, then let's not talk about it." But the next moment, she heard my stomach rumbling. Are you hungry? A little bit, I thought. Since the evening, first taking a bath, then going to the military command center, now back near the school, up until now, I haven't eaten anything yet. It was fine when Lin Qingxue didn't mention it, but now that she did, I really feel a bit hungry. Then, do you want some late-night snacks? Didn't you say you didn't want to eat earlier? That will take some time too. Do you want to watch some TV? Saying that, she smiled proudly. Let me tell you, I recently discovered a really good TV drama. I nodded slightly. Lin Qingxue immediately adjusted. Her posture in my arms switched to a more comfortable position. After continuing to snuggle in my arms, she clicked on a romance drama she was currently following and watched it quietly. I didn't speak either, just holding Lin Qingxue like this, accompanying her to watch the TV drama on the bed. The night was quiet. The room was also incredibly quiet, except for the sound from the phone's video player. There was only Lin Qingxue's giggling sound when she saw funny scenes, and she has a habit when watching dramas, especially when she's in my arms. She likes to move around when she laughs. Not long after, Lin Qingxue suddenly paused. What are you thinking about? Thinking about our future? Thinking about what our future home will look like? There will be a sofa and carpet we picked out together, and an open-air balcony where we can enjoy the breeze. We can even place pots of flowers and plants we grew with our own hands on it. In the kitchen, there will be the bubbling sound of the soup I simmered for you. Maybe we can even go together to adopt a stray kitten. When the sky gradually turns dark, I will stand in front of the floor-to-ceiling windows inside, watching the bustling city lights outside. When the door opens, you will smile and say into the house, "I'm back." I will run over and hug you, and the kitten will crawl to your feet. The kitten is yours. The starlight and moonlit night outside are also yours. And me, I am also yours. After saying all this, Lin Qingxue slowly looked up at me and smiled. Do you think we will have a future like this? Of course, we will definitely love each other until we are 80. What? Are we going to fight when we are 81? How could we? I suddenly really want to see 60 years into the future, to see if I am still with you, to see the answer, to see how many children we will have then. Will we go square dancing together? When our grandchildren ask me how I courted you back then, I will definitely tell them, no, no, no. It was your grandmother who chased me first. She was even cuter than you when she was young. If by then those little guys don't want to brush their teeth, tell them. If you don't brush your teeth in the future, you will become just like your grandmother, a shriveled-mouthed old lady. You're the shriveled-mouthed old lady. You'll be a toothless old man. This night was also the only night I didn't go to the Eternal Knowledge Treasury to study. Every night before this, I spent most of my time in the Eternal Knowledge Treasury, researching various scientific technologies inside. But today, I wanted to give myself a break. Time began to pass slowly. The night was dark and heavy. The central air conditioning in the room was blowing out a cool breeze, but my forehead started to break out in drops of cold sweat. My handsome brows furrowed tightly. My face was filled with an expression of agonizing pain. No. I suddenly sat up from the bed, looking at the sky outside the window that was already faintly glowing white. I finally let out a long sigh of relief. Lin Qingxue, who was sleeping soundly next to me, was also awakened by my scream. She groggily rubbed her sleepy eyes and immediately sat up. Leaning against my chest, listening to my wildly racing heartbeat, she looked at me worriedly and asked, "What's wrong? Did you have a nightmare?" Yeah. Lin Qingxue took the initiative to lean close to me and smiled softly. It's okay. I'm right here with you. Go to sleep peacefully." I squeezed Lin Qingxue's soft hand. After breathing a sigh of relief, I lay back down under the covers, but having been awakened by the nightmare, my heart did not settle down. Instead, a huge wave had begun to swell within it. The next day, Lin Qingxue got up early. "Qingxue, aren't you dressed a bit too grandly? Are you trying to make your Xiaoyu drool over you? Careful, you might not make it back to school tonight. This is the first time the two of us are going to the amusement park alone. Of course I have to dress up nicely." Tisk tsk, girls really do leave the nest when they grow up. On my side, looking at the call from Wang Wyman, I hesitated for a few seconds. Only then did I answer the phone. Elder Wang, what's the matter? Xiaoyu, the research results from the military are out. Around when will you have time to come over to the military base to take a look? There is a major discovery. The genetic code has been detected. Is it very urgent? Yes, the detected genetic code is very bizarre. It is a genetic code that has never appeared on Earth before. Around when will you have time to come to the Military Research Institute to take a look? I hesitated for a few seconds. Let's wait a while. I want to stay at school for a while longer. Did you encounter some problem? Not really. Maybe I'm just a bit tired from being so busy recently. I want to take a good rest. I don't consider myself omnipotent, especially when coming into contact with such unknown things. Even though I have prepared myself to accept certain hypotheses, it's just that right now, I want to secretly be selfish for once. The Earth will keep turning regardless of who is missing. Sometimes I even think just living an ordinary student life in school like this, after graduation, following the normal path, and having a good relationship with Lin Qingxue, then getting married and having kids, I don't have to set expectations too high for myself. Living a plain and contented life, actually, that's not bad either. Then how long do you want to rest? This matter. Perhaps only you can solve it. Right now, whether it's the researchers at the Chinese Academy of Sciences or the military researchers, everyone is completely powerless regarding the genetic code extracted from the mutant hounds. That's why he called me. Perhaps I have a solution. I let out a long sigh. Am not too sure. I might give myself a long vacation. I see. But ultimately, he also sighed softly. That's fine too. Then you just take a good rest at school. What I have done for the country is indeed already enough. Even if I never touch the field of scientific research again, it is still enough to hold an important position. In the history of global scientific research, I hung up the phone, but when the hand holding my phone slowly dropped down, the smile on my face gradually disappeared. Why did I go to Mobe without hesitation? To research lithography machines 3 years ago? What exactly was it for? At the entrance of the girls' dormitory, Lin Qingxue, who walked up to me happily, clearly sensed that my state was a bit off. Or rather, since that night, my state had never been good. This was something she could clearly feel, because she had seen that spirited and fearless me, and not the me now, even if I still looked very relaxed on the surface. A heavy aura surrounded me at all times. This wasn't like me. Lin Qingxue smiled softly and raised her hand, gently taking my arm. What's wrong? Nothing. Is there something going on at the Chinese Academy of Sciences again? I was silent for a while. Finally, I nodded slowly. Is it very serious? More serious than any problem we've encountered before. It might even cause international turmoil. Once it's confirmed that genetic code indeed comes from outer space and possesses such bizarre abilities, the world will be in chaos. Lin Qingxue fell silent. Once upon a time, I was still the little boy who secretly slept in class and asked her to keep a lookout for me. But in the blink of an eye, I had actually come into contact with things at this level. And what was the reason for my hesitation now? Because of her? Or perhaps the responsibility in my heart? She had always known that the sense of responsibility in my heart was far stronger than what I showed on the surface. I was afraid that I couldn't bear this responsibility. Thinking of this, Lin Qingxue suddenly stood on her tiptoes and kissed me on the cheek. Then she suddenly let go of my hand and pretended not to care as she said, Go back to where you are needed. I was a bit stunned. Then we're not going to the amusement park today. Lin Qingxue smiled. Silly, we still have a long time between us. Going to the amusement park? What's the difference between going today and going next time? Lin Qingxue held my hand. Although I'm not entirely sure what exactly you guys are doing. But haven't you done very well before? You must always believe. You are not just my son. With your abilities, you can also become the sun for more people. Of course, you can shine your sunlight on everyone. But in your heart, you are only allowed to have me as your girl. I am still very petty about this point. Immediately after, in Lin Qingxue's eyes looking at me, a look of admiration appeared. I always believe the man I've fallen in love with right in front of me will always be that unparalleled hero wearing golden armor, riding on multicolored clouds, standing proud in the world, and fearless. My eyes flickered. I gently squeezed Lin Qingxue's small hand. My gaze gradually became determined. Standing proud in the world, a fearless, unparalleled hero. Can I do it? Perhaps I can. An hour later, the military helicopter quickly took off. In front of the Kyoto University laboratory, on the school's sports field, sitting blankly on the lawn, watching the helicopter gradually fade away. Lin Qingxue was silent for a while. Suddenly, she couldn't help but laugh. This is the purest Xiaoyu. I hope the boy I like the most will ward off all evils and be free from all taboos. I will wait for you to come back at school. Baby, the secret research base for the 7th generation aerospace engine, inside the ultra-large underground testing ground. At the center of the giant ring structure, there wasn't a traditional engine prototype, but a strange force field emitting a faint blue glow, constantly distorting the surrounding light. Inside the force field, you could faintly see the outline of a shuttle-shaped aircraft. Xiaoyu stood in front of the main control console. The data flowing like a waterfall on the screen was the crystallization of his blood, sweat, and tears over the past few months. The Zhengwo, Wang Weiman, Liu Yang, and a group of leading figures from the Chinese Academy of Sciences and the Academy of Engineering stood behind him, holding their breath in rapt attention, their eyes firmly locked on the core of the field. The warp drive validation machine, Wanyu, No 1. Initiate Stage 1 propulsion test. The command was issued. That shuttle-shaped validation machine in the distorted space did not rely on its own power, but rather, along with the bent space itself, began to slide forward slowly. In a counterintuitive manner, the reading on the speedometer started to jump. Although the initial speed was not astonishing, this was not acceleration generated by reaction force, but space itself carrying the aircraft to move. The entire control center erupted in deafening cheers. Many white-haired old experts hugged each other and wept. Good boy, you have once again achieved unparalleled merit, for the country and for the nation. This is an epic-making breakthrough. I looked at the stable data on the screen, and that dreamlike scene in the center. A relieved smile appeared on my face, but deep in my eyes was hidden a trace of profoundness that was hard to detect. Meanwhile, Kyoto University, School of Economics and Management Study Room. Lin Qingxue had just finished an advanced financial theory class. Holding her books, she walked on the tree-lined path back to her dorm. The autumn sunlight filtered through the yellowing ginkgo leaves, casting mottled spots of light. Her phone vibrated. The phone screen displayed a message. From a specially encrypted channel, phased mission completed. All is well, don't worry. The promise of fireworks? I keep it in my heart. The return date is undecided. But my heart has already returned. Lin Qingxue's mouth couldn't help but curve upwards into a bright smile. She looked up at the deep blue, lofty sky to the north. There were airplane contrails slowly sweeping across. However, under the calm surface, dark currents surged. On the very night Xiaoyu's team celebrated their initial success, a highly encrypted emergency intelligence report was delivered to his temporary office. The situation is more complex than we imagined. This has already gone beyond mere scientific competition. It carries obvious traces of unnatural intervention. I nodded. A sharp glint flashed in my eyes. I understand. In the days that followed, my time was divided into 2 parts. During the day, I immersed myself in the optimization of warp drive theory and the planning of the next experiments. At night, I led the Deep Eye team through the massive information of the eternal knowledge treasury, searching for any clues related to that mysterious gene. Lin Qingxue keenly perceived my hidden exhaustion and pressure. She didn't ask too many questions. She just silently sent me local specialties from our hometown and shared interesting stories from the campus in our video calls. The turning point occurred late one night. In the eternal knowledge treasury, within an extremely obscure category, I discovered a record about a certain ancient vanished civilization. This civilization recorded a fundamental information unit of the universe that they called the primordial code, and certain segments of that mysterious genetic sequence actually shared an astonishing mathematical isomorphism with a degraded or fragmented manifestation of the recorded primordial code. I reported to the Jiangwo and the High. We must stop them. The loss of control over this power could lead to regional disruptions of physical laws, or even trigger unpredictable space-time disasters. A war without visible smoke quietly commenced. The highest decision-making level authorized Xiaoyu to utilize some undisclosed technologies of the Wanyu project at necessary moments, cooperating with relevant departments to infiltrate and acquire intelligence from the target laboratory and to destroy it if necessary. It was near the end of the term at Kyoto University. Lin Qingxue stayed up late reviewing in the library, preparing for an important major exam. When she rubbed her sore eyes and packed up her books preparing to leave, she found she had one missed call and one message on her phone, both from Xiaoyu's encrypted number. The message had only 2 words: return quickly. Lin Qingxue immediately called back, but the prompt said it could not be connected. She practically ran back to her dorm. Opening her computer, she tried to find clues in the news. The international news was calm and peaceful, but on some fringe tech forums and social media, some vague news began to circulate. Abnormal geological activity occurred in a remote area, accompanied by short, intense electromagnetic pulses. Eyewitnesses claimed to see distorted light bands appearing in the sky. The atmosphere at the Mobe base was tense to the extreme. Wearing a specially made protective suit, I stood inside the cockpit of the modified Wanyu. No one, the Zhengwo instructed through the communicator, his voice carrying unconcealable worry. Xiaoyu, be careful in everything. Just transmitting the data back is enough. Safety first. Understood. I will deliver the gift on time. The faint blue warp cannon appeared once again. Wanyu fiercely slammed toward that lump of still struggling flesh, and the already riddled laboratory beneath it. It wasn't the sound of an explosion, but a dull, loud boom of space, being forcibly smoothed out, the halo below. The distorted space and that terrifying biological creation vanished without a trace in an instant, leaving only a completely flattened valley, as if it had been plowed by a plowshare. A week later, by the Wyoming Lake at Kyoto University, Lin Qingxue and I sat side by side on a bench by the lake. The afterglow of the setting sun died, the lake's surface golden. My face was still a bit pale. Lin Qingxue gently leaned on my shoulder, holding my somewhat cold hand. It's good that you're back. Her tone carried the relief of surviving a disaster. Yeah, I promised you. I wouldn't disappear without a reason again. Lin Qingxue raised her head, looked into my eyes and said, seriously? Xiaoyu, I know you are doing very important things, maybe very dangerous. Maybe I can't completely understand, but please, you must remember, no matter how high or how far you fly, here will always be your anchor. I might not be able to fight alongside you, but I will be here to light a lamp for your return. I backhandedly gripped Lin Qingxue's hand tightly and looked toward the sparkling Lake Qing. This world is bigger than we imagined, and more complex. There is light, and there is also bottomless darkness. This path I chose is destined to be full of unknowns and challenges, but it is precisely because I have people I want to protect, because of beautiful existences like you, that I have more courage to face that darkness. I turned my head and looked deeply at Lin Qingxue. When this matter comes to an end, I'll take you to see the fireworks, not the ones at Zhongyuanzhou. Maybe at a place where we can see the entire curve of the earth. Lin Qingxue was slightly stunned. Immediately, her eyes sparkled with pleasant surprise and unbelievable tears. She nodded heavily. Okay, I'll wait for you. Night gradually fell. The streetlights on the campus lit up one after another. The two snuggled on the bench. Neither spoke again. The story about Xiaoyu and Lin Qingxue, about humanity's journey in the sea of stars, and facing the challenges of the unknown universe, had all just opened a new chapter. Their destinies were already closely linked together. About to jointly, the narrative weaves a profound tapestry that juxtaposes the cold, boundless expanse of scientific discovery and national destiny with the warm, fragile sanctuary of human attachment, ultimately conveying that our grandest technological triumphs and bravest leaps into the cosmic unknown are utterly meaningless unless anchored by the steadfast loyalty of love. Through the gripping odyssey of Showa genius, whose shoulders bear the staggering, invisible weights of top secret, cosmic defense, and historical innovation, and Lin Qingxue, whose fierce devotion survives years of agonizing absence and emotional turbulence. The story illuminates the delicate yet indestructible bridge between intellectual duty and emotional redemption. It demonstrates that true heroism is not merely a product of extraordinary intellect or unyielding resilience in the face of universal threats, but is instead continuously nourished by the quiet promises, forgiveness, and shared dreams that wait on the other side of sacrifice. Ultimately, the tale challenges and inspires the audience by revealing that as humanity reaches ever outward toward the stars and confronts the terrifying, formless dark of the unknown, our greatest shield against the void is not the advanced machinery we build, but the enduring capacity of the human heart to wait, to hope, and to light a home for those who carry the world on their shoulders.